Thanks.
No, for real, it's not. Because the
Zanele, can you hear me? How's it done? Good morning.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, my friend. How are you?
Good, and how are you?
Beautiful. Missing you, man.
I miss you too.
Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Oh, a very good morning, you beautiful souls. My name is Graham Richards, welcoming you on behalf of the entire Expresso family. So good to have you in our company, and we got you for the next 3 hours. Thank you so much for choosing us on this Tuesday. And always on a Tuesday, we take a medical turn. But this morning, I love the fact that we are going inward. We're not just focusing on the physical health, but the mental. And we're taking a look at World Bipolar Day. It actually took place on the 30th of March. The main aim, as always, to create awareness, but to create a sustained conversation. Absolutely love the fact that we are focusing on this because it affects so many people. Now, speaking of which, there is a wave online at the moment, and we're going to dive into that as we broach online bullying that is coming up in so many different shapes and guises. It is almost impossible for a parent to stay ahead of the game. So hopefully we'll get some gems today on how we can empower ourselves, but most importantly, empower our children to be stronger, to be more resilient, to be more confident. And luckily, we've got enough amazing human beings on the show who exemplify exactly that. One, I think, is maybe one of my favorite. Good morning, Zanelia. Can you tell I've been missing you, girl?
Oh, my fave, I've been missing you too. My Graham, good morning. And Mzansi, good morning to you. You've made the right decision by tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast show. I promise you, as you heard from Graham, we're getting into such important conversations, but there's also celebrations and so much more. But my Graham, I need to ask you, brand new month, pinch and a punch for the first of the month. Are you feeling good? How are you feeling about April as a whole?
Oh, it's a crazy time at the moment, but there is a new energy here, which I absolutely love.
Yes.
I love the start of a new season, the start of a new month, the start of a new week, the start of a new day. There's probably a reason why I do this job, but I love the fact that we're feeling a new energy. People are galvanized, so I am pumped for April, and hopefully we can get you guys pumped as well. But we've got to press the pause button quickly because ridiculously, one of us isn't actually dressed yet, okay? So we're going to cut to him now. No, he's got some clothes on, but he needs a little bit of help on the fashion stakes. Ryle, good morning, sunshine.
Good morning, you beautiful people. Mzansi, thank you so much for waking up with us. And as you can see, G-Man is looking so good. Zanele is always looking good. She's giving boss energy. And I want to try replicate the same. And yeah, it is getting a little bit chilly by the looks of the weather on my watch. So I'm asking you, Mzansi, come through and help me out because it's Tuesday, and we're going to do just that. Let's start April off on a good note and get me dressed up and looking good for the rest of the show. But I need your help. So we've got option number one over here. It's a beautiful blue denim jeans. It's a bit of a straight cut, not too skinny of a fit, so this is going to look pretty good. With that, we've got this great Sherpa jacket that's going over it with a striped knit underneath. So we've got layers, we've got warmth. All of this is paired with a white sneaker. So this is going to be a perfect winter edition, especially with the chills out in the air. But that's only option one. Step over here as we discuss option number two. Now, we've got the brown chino with option number two. Then we've got a polar neck or turtleneck, whichever one you want to call it. I love this knit because it's obviously, again, giving warmth all the way up. And then we've got another Sherpa jacket with a pullover. This one's got more of a check look to it as well. More of a cream palette tone, which I kind of actually like. I'm liking the nudes here. And then again, paired with a beautiful sneaker too. That one's not white. That's got a bit of a nude tone to it. So yeah, different feels here. I don't know what you're liking. This is almost giving me like winter dune. And this is giving me like a bit of a preppier winter feel. But Mzansi, I'm putting the power in your hands, seeing that it is Tuesday. I want you to come through right now and let me know what you think's going to look good for the next few hours as we serve you for the 1st of April. We're not going to look like a fool on April Fool's Day. No, we're going to look cool. So come through, help me choose. And a reminder that you can shop these looks at Woolworths, in-store, online, and of course on the app. So maybe we can look good together. Before we do though, you can come through and vote. And while we are waiting to find out what I'm going to wear, G-Man's got the latest when it comes to official duties. Let's kick it off.
My name is Tandile Mafanya. I am founder of an events company and marketing agency. I don't like to think too much when I think about what I have to wear. Love being outside as well and just being one with, I guess, the world.
Oh, man. So listen, before G-Man kicks everything off in terms of us and official duties, this morning, my beautiful family, we need to get into our Good Morning Post because we absolutely love getting to have those conversations with you online. Today, I am so excited to say Happy April Fools. Quarter 1 is done, and we get to jump on into April in the best way possible. And that is with a little bit of laughs, a little bit of happiness. And this is why we want to hear from you on the WhatsApp line, 063-408-8863, as well as hashtag Expresso Show on all social media platforms. Friend, what is the best prank that you have ever seen pulled off? Like one where you see it and you're like, oh my goodness, I wish I had thought of that because it was just such a good idea. For me, I remember somebody got told that they had to go and pretend that they were a patron somewhere and then they had to act angry. And then when they were angry, the person who was actually pulling the prank was the person who was in fact angry, if that makes sense. For me, it was just a prank that was pulled on the pranker, actually. Let us know, 063-408-8863, as well as hashtag Expresso Show. Right about now, though, let's jump on into what is happening all around the world with Ryle.
Thank you, Nazanele. Yes, the 1st of April is here, so let's kick off official duties and starting with the national headlines. Now, Cooperative Governance Minister Velenkosini Shlabisa has announced a 1.4 billion rand in disaster relief funds for 5 provinces hit by recent disasters. Now, the money will aid infrastructure repairs, restore basic services, and assist communities in the Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Free State, and KwaZulu-Natal. Now, at least 40 people lost their lives in recent disasters. And allocations include 149 million rand for provincial departments and 231 million rand for municipal recovery efforts. Now, Shlabisa expressed concern over poor reporting and accountability, warning that funds must be used within 12 months and vowed stricter oversight to prevent misuse. Well, next up, civil society organization Section 27 has slammed the Limpopo Department of Education for missing its deadline, and that's to replace all pit toilets at schools. Now, the High Court ordered the removal of these hazardous toilets by December last year, but the province pushed the deadline to yesterday. Now, of the 564 targeted schools, 20 remain unfinished, with some construction projects not yet approved. Now, mobile toilets are in place for now, but Section 27 stresses that this is not a permanent solution. Now, the organization is demanding immediate action, and that's to ensure the safety of learners. Well, we move to international headlines now, and a planned protest demanding Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa's resignations saw low turnout yesterday. Now, that was as citizens stayed home amid heavy security. And it was led by war veterans accusing him of corruption and clinging to power. And that's where the protests were swiftly dispersed by police. Now, protest leader Blessed Geza urged more action and calling for Vice President Constantine Chiwenga to replace Mnangagwa and to have him take power in 2017 after a coup against Robert Mugabe, facing growing discontent. Now, Zimbabwe's ambassador to South Africa dismissed reports of unrest, insisting the country remains stable. Now, next up, a French far-right politician, Marine Le Pen, has been banned from holding public office for 5 years, and this after being convicted of embezzling European Union funds. Now, a French court sentenced her to 4 years in prison, with 2 years suspended and the remaining under house arrest. Now, the ruling is a major setback for Le Pen, who had planned to run for president in 2027. Now, her legal team has vowed to appeal, but the ban on political participation takes immediate effect. Now, the conviction leaves her party, the National Rally, scrambling for an alternative candidate. Now, next up, something to definitely be inspired by now at the Helderberg Giant Pumpkin Festival. Yep, that went down and it was held this past weekend, and the spotlight fell on Piet Lotz, a reed farmer from Blombos in Jongensfontein, who shattered the South African and Southern Hemisphere record with his colossal 1,120 kilogram pumpkin. Yes, you heard correctly. Now, Lotz, a dedicated member of the Growers Association, isn't just about winning, he's the heart of the pumpkin growing community. Now, his patch visits have helped countless growers refine their techniques, and his carefully crafted feeding program has transformed the competition. Now, having broken the SA record in 2018, he was absolutely overjoyed to reclaim the title. And now, with his eyes set on the world record, Lotz is determined to prove that no dream is too big, even for a pumpkin. Well, incredible stuff. And again, South Africans taking it to the world stage. We are so proud of you. And see what other results South Africans got when it comes to the world of sport. And here's G-Man with the latest.
Well, as all the Bucky manufacturers get in touch with that guy, let's start with a bit of cricket, not to be outdone by the incredible batsman in the IPL. The bowlers have put their hand up. Debutant Ashwini Kumar, stunning 4 for 24, helping the Mumbai Indians crush Kolkata Knight Riders by 8 wickets yesterday, securing their first IPL win of the season and much needed. So KKR were bowled out for 116 before Mumbai chased it down in just under 13 overs. So Ashwini became the first Indian to take 4 wickets on his IPL debut, sealing a commanding victory at the Wankhede Stadium. Now on to rugby, and David Brits aims to bring new energy and impact as he joins the Brits box. That's for the HSBC Sevens in Singapore. So he and Sebastian Job replace injured Cuban Nokia and Gino Caputo after South Africa's 9th place finish in Hong Kong the last weekend. So the Brits box, they face Great Britain and then Hong Kong champions Argentina in a condensed format where only pool winners advance to the semi-finals. So it's going to be a test. Now we return to last night's test in the 15-man game. UFS Shimlas secured the final Varsity Cup semi-final spot with a crucial bonus point win over Tuks in Pretoria. The Marties topped the log after defeating Wits, who are relegated to Varsity Shield as a result. UCT's Ikeys, they edged out UJ to finish 3rd, setting up a semi-final against Tuks. And then UJ in 7th place, they face a promotion relegation playoff against the Madibas, and that's on the 5th of May. So all the best of luck. Now we finally turn on to football, and Manchester City's top scorer, Erling Haaland, faces a spell on the sidelines. That was after suffering an ankle injury in their 2-1 FA Cup quarter-final win over Bournemouth. The 24-year-old, who netted his 30th goal of the season before the injury, has no confirmed return date. So City currently 5th in the Premier League, and they face Leicester and then Manchester United this week. So they could have used him out there, but he's on the sidelines, and that's where we leave our sport for now. Let's see how the weather is looking at the foot of the new day.
It is a new day indeed, and this is why we need to tell you what exactly is happening with your weather. Let's start off with what the South African Weather Service has to say, where they've issued a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms across parts of KZN, Northwest and Free State, with damaging winds, excessive lightning, hail and heavy downpours expected. A yellow level 1 warning is in place for Northern Eastern Cape, also predicting severe thunderstorms, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Magalies Water is finalizing a master plan for water supply and sanitation in Northwest, focusing on expanding access to previously underserved areas. A spokesperson for Magalies Water, David Magai, said it was essential to ensure that water is accessible to all residents, which is something we absolutely love to hear, and we'll keep you up to date with everything happening on that side. But for now, I always tell you it's one of my favorite parts of the show because, honey, you are Picasso with your camera, okay? We always ask you, please go and snap what your Good Morning Post is looking like, or forgive me, what your sunrise view is looking like, and we show the rest of the country. And this morning, it is Cecilia from Knysna, where it is going to be 21 degrees Celsius, who has absolutely knocked it out the park. Cecilia, this is stunning. How did you get it to be like so perfect with the purple and the pink and just catching it at the right time? You indeed are an artist, my lovely, and thank you for your country duty. And Mzansi, it's all up to you now. 063-408-8863. Let's show the rest of the country what you're waking up to. For now, though, what can you expect for the rest of the day? Here are your temperatures.
Oh man, a beautiful day ahead and a beautiful conversation on the way. I love the fact that Riley and I are already now trying to get into the points and highlighting our limited understanding of bipolar, the condition that affects so many people here in South Africa and across the globe. But in this beautiful new landscape, we were saying now of kind of a neurodivergent understanding and those kind of nuances. I have a feeling this is a good time to be engaging with awareness in this space. Absolutely
it
vital.
sounds crazy, but it's a good time to have a problem because there's so much help out there, and that's exactly what we're going to bring to you. A good conversation, good ways to manage it and assist you if you are dealing with the most, and also the people that are helping us do exactly that. And that's where we celebrate our Pharmacy of the Week, our incredible citizens always putting their hand up to serve you, Mzansi. And as we obviously transition into new seasons, this is the perfect time to get some assistance, because you know how the body has to deal with things.
You know, there are pharmacists warming up literally before work today. They're like, all right, it's school holidays. Okay, let's rock and roll. Now we'll introduce you to our Pharmacy of the Week after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, beautiful family. This is exactly where you deserve to be as we kick off your day in the right way on S3. And listen, this morning, I told you, yes, we're always all about the celebrations and having a good time. That's still going to come because we also always need to get into very important conversations. And I'm talking about the fact that when we talk about bipolar disorder, it is something that is so complex, often misunderstood, and something that we really want to break down this morning and more than anything understand so that we can hopefully either help ourselves or our loved ones around us. Now, this is something that's characterized by extreme mood shifts or even just energy shifts throughout the day, and it can make life a little bit difficult if left unmanaged. So this is why we had to call in the big guns. I'm talking about Chief Medical Officer at Life Healthcare. It is Carisha Quarry, who is here to let us know how we can hopefully help and support those around us who do have bipolar disorder, or even be able to diagnose ourselves and hopefully seek the attention we might need. So everyone, let's please give her a feel-good welcome. It is Carisha.
Good morning.
Good morning, Carisha. How are you?
I'm well, thanks, and thank you for having me this morning.
Of course. Thank you for coming and having this really important conversation with us. You know, I have a lot of people that I know of who have either discovered that they have bipolar disorder or possibly were, you know, on the brink of it. And this is why this morning I want to ask you, you know, when we talk about bipolar disorder, how do we define it exactly?
So bipolar mood disorders, Anela, is a really important mental health condition that is becoming more and more prominent within our society. Almost 4% of South Africans are estimated to have bipolar mood disorder, and it's especially seen in the entertainment industry because of the extremes of the mood that we have. Yes. So people will present with mania, which is people will really speak really fast, they have flight of ideas, they will have just gregarious behavior, and then that shifts into a depressive state where they really are under the weather, not able to get out of bed, and having really depressive thoughts. And some famous people like Mariah Carey and Demi Lovato have been diagnosed with bipolar mood disorder. So it is a very common medical condition, and the unfortunate thing with bipolar mood disorder is the risk of having a at-risk event, so being being suicidal or being harmful to other people in your environment. So it's very important that we speak about bipolar mood disorder.
Most definitely, and even understand how we can, diagnose it in terms of actually seeking medical help. And can I ask you, can someone be on the brink of bipolar disorder and possibly maybe move themselves away from it, or is it just a black and white situation?
So people may express symptoms of bipolar mood disorder and not actually have an official diagnosis of bipolar mood disorder.
Yeah.
It's ideally a diagnosis that's made by a trained medical professional like a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
But you can see some signs and symptoms, and there are some risk factors. So the risk factors for bipolar mood disorder is, number one, having a family member that has bipolar mood disorder. So that is generally a parent or a brother or sister or grandparent that has it. Also, when you are facing a real crisis in your life, so either you're changing jobs or you have had a death in your family, or potentially where you are going through a life change like a divorce or some relationship issue that may trigger bipolar mood disorder. And then anybody who is taking alcohol or drugs puts themselves at risk of bipolar mood disorder. So they may display some of the symptoms, but not have the total a spectrum of symptoms that create a diagnosis. And as I've mentioned, some of those symptoms include having a flight of ideas, spending money recklessly, having sexual encounters recklessly, or just going on the opposite end of being really depressed and having at-risk behaviors.
Sure, and this is why it's so important for us to have these conversations, like you said, because sometimes a lot of people see those characteristics either in themselves or someone else, and they just think, you know what, I'm just either going through a phase, or it's just something that is happening in this stage of life, and yet it could be bipolar disorder.
Absolutely. And what's important is that these symptoms actually prevent an individual from performing their daily activities. So people will stop going to work or to school, or they'll start spending money that they don't have, or having relationships that they shouldn't be having, or thinking about suicide, for example. So that's when it starts to become moving from a personality to a disorder, a mental health disorder, when it starts to interfere with your activities of daily living. And that's what's important. That's the difference between it just being your personality to be happy all the time versus it being something that is a condition that needs to be treated by a team of mental health practitioners.
Sure, and Carisha, I feel like you are breaking it down so beautifully, which is why then I want to ask you a little bit of a complex one. When it comes to bipolar disorder, are there different kinds of them, or is it just one that everyone experiences?
Yes, so there are multiple different subtypes of bipolar mood disorder, but what is important is the swing between having mania, which is the high symptoms, versus the depressive symptoms, and it's the swinging between those two extremes with periods of normal behavior in between. So that's important. And when you see that in yourself or in a family member or friend or an employee, then you need to just make sure that that individual is referred to a doctor or a mental health practitioner for assistance.
Okay. Carisha, I'm so glad we're having a part 2 of this, because you're really opening my eyes, and I can imagine opening the eyes of the Expresso family as well. And this is why you got to make sure you stay tuned, Expresso fam, because today we are indeed getting to the crux of not just what bipolar disorder is, but also how, in fact, we can help those around us who might be struggling from it, and how it actually can be treated, because it is something where you are able to live a very normal life with it as long as you treat it the right way. For now, we're going to jump back to Cape Town, and when we come back, we got so much more. But Mike Graham, are you still feeling good this morning, my lovely?
Oh, feeling even better after that conversation. We need to talk about these things so people can identify within themselves, but most importantly, just to feel okay. And I'll add to that conversation, some of the highest performing, functioning people I know fit into that bracket. Now, of course, when it comes to our health journey, there are those first responders, those that we often have to lean on every day. And it's time now to connect with the pharmacy of the week, those people that really do step up for us, where we honor those passionate professionals at the heart of community healthcare. And this week, we feature an incredible Letabo Med Pharmacy in Bloberg, rural Limpopo. And that's proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, officially the sponsors of Brave.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
We are a community pharmacy that deals with offering comprehensive pharmaceutical services to all our clients, everybody within the community of Blowback and even outside. So we're very proud to be assisting the community in Blowback, and we are happy about it. We're taking very good care of it. It's very important that we assist the community here because, one, the relationship that we have with them, a positive relationship, so we cannot take that for granted. It is very critical just to advise all our clients that they must simply take care of their health. That is very important. Take care of your spiritual being, your emotional being, and your physical being, most importantly, so that you can stay away from all other conditions.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
To Ian, my pharmacist, to all the pharmacists, thank you for your unwavering commitment and tireless efforts as we step into the new year and, of course, into a new season right now, ensuring our communities stay healthy and thrive in the year ahead. We love you guys.
Yeah, we're going to take it on, we're going to tackle it, and we're going to keep all this good conversation going because it's kind of like a Health Tuesday when you get this advice. So the conversation on bipolar is going to go down. Mzansi, don't go anywhere. A lot to still discuss and a lot of tips that I think could help all of us when it comes to this conversation, man. Yeah.
Yep, because we are all together. And then we have the small matter of helping this guy get dressed. Raul needs your help. Go onto our socials. Vote for your favorite look. I mean, you always look great, dude. We've got some absolutely beautiful season-embracing looks. You can check them out on our social media pages and cast a vote, and then we'll get him dressed after.
Let's go.
For over 50 years, Natura has helped families heal naturally. Now it's your turn to experience the magic. Win one of 10 Natura wellness packages plus a 1,000 Rand sorbet voucher. To enter, follow Natura on Facebook, comment on the competition posts, and tell us how you use or want to use Natura, and tag a friend who deserves some natural wellness. Nurture your health naturally. Competition closes Friday, 11 April. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, indeed, where we are feeling good this morning because we're disseminating information all in the name of understanding bipolar mood disorder a little bit better. This morning, we're joined by Carisha Quarry, who is the Chief Medical Officer at Life Healthcare. And friend, I tell you this much. This is a conversation you want to make sure you do not miss. If you already missed the first part, it's okay. You can catch it up a little bit later because this morning, we're not leaving without truly understanding how, in fact, we can help those around us and possibly even help ourselves. Carisha, I said earlier on, you have just been breaking this down so beautifully. I think it's so lovely in terms of the nuggets that we're just able to understand from you. But I want to now understand when we are talking about, lifelong treatment, because earlier on I did say that it is something that is not a life sentence. You're able to live a completely normal life. What are the long-term ways in which we can treat bipolar disorder?
So there are many ways that we can treat bipolar. And yes, it's really important for anybody to understand that you can live a completely normal life with bipolar mood disorder. What's important is education and destigmatization, which means that the people around you, including yourself, should be educated about what bipolar mood disorder is, what the triggers are for the symptoms, and what the symptoms mean. So education is always the first treatment. And then destigmatization for yourself and your family, as well as in your workplace environment, so that you have the right support from your employer and your colleagues on how to manage the condition and how to accept the condition in the space. It can be very traumatizing for family and for your employer. Then it is important that you have a team of medical professionals, which include psychiatrists, psychologists, and your general practitioner involved in your care, as well as social workers and occupational health therapists if you're employed and you need assistance in your employment space to make the space conducive to working with bipolar mood disorder. And paramount to all of that is to be compliant to your treatment. So if you are prescribed medication, it is important that you take it as is prescribed by your doctor, and you don't wait until your medication has run out, and you also don't try to experiment with your health. You must take it according to how your medical practitioner prescribes it. And unfortunately, it is medication that you will have to take long-term for the rest of your life, but compliance is important so that you can have a healthy, normal life.
I love that. And I also think, like you said, the destigmatization, it's so important because I don't think a lot of people like to go to work and say, hey, this is something that I actually have that I'm struggling with. So that's incredible that that you're letting us in on how we can actually, it's okay for us to go to work and say that and us to receive that sort of structure and I think even support that we might need. But let's jump into this because, when we talk about individuals that have bipolar mood disorder, how can they manage their symptoms effectively, particularly?
So management of symptoms is firstly, be aware of what those symptoms actually are. As I've mentioned, if a person is experiencing a flight of ideas, if they are struggling to concentrate, if they are struggling to articulate or say what they mean, then that is a sign that they may be, as you say, at risk of going into a manic or depressive episode, or if they're struggling to get out of bed or having suicidal thoughts. What is important about managing your symptoms is, like I said, taking your treatment, eating healthy food, exercising, and talking to the people in your support structure, whether that's your family or your psychologist. And that is how an individual can actually manage their symptoms in the short and in the long term.
Sure. And when we talk about, Doc, just us now looking at the fact that, yes, you're able to manage bipolar mood disorder, what happens when someone doesn't? What are the risks and complications that can happen, almost in terms of, even the cases that you've seen before?
Yes. Unfortunately, the risks can be quite extreme. And a person who has bipolar mood disorder, whether they are on the manic side or on the extreme side, they may develop an at-risk trigger. And that means that they are either at risk of harming themselves by suicide or harming others, that's homicide. They may also be at risk of taking bad financial decisions like gambling, selling their house, etc., making bad decisions regarding sexual behavior and contracting a sexually transmitted infection, or making bad decisions relating to work, so not pitching up for work, for example, and losing their support system and their financial structure. So these are the at-risk behaviors that can result in a very poor outcome for somebody who has bipolar mood disorder. So we can see, and that obviously impacts the individual, the family, and the economy. So it's really important that we manage these conditions as best as we possibly can, and that as a society that we support our friends and family that have bipolar mood disorder.
And speaking of that, how can we support our friends and family that might have it? Especially even when we now see that someone is showing symptoms of possibly having bipolar mood disorder and you're not sure. How can we best get them help and how can we support them?
The most effective way is to have an understanding of the condition and to not stigmatize an individual for having a mental health condition. And then to provide them with necessary resources, so a doctor, a toll-free line like the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, and refer them to somebody who can manage, and especially in the workplace environment, many employers have employee wellness programs that can assist people in making the diagnosis. So it's important that as a friend or family member that you help and you refer your relative or friend to the necessary resources.
Incredible. And of course, the necessary resources are the likes of Life Healthcare.
Yes, that includes us.
Yes, I love that. Carisha, you've made this so easy to understand. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and chat to us. And well done on the great work that you guys are doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It is Carisha Quarry, the Chief Medical Officer of Life Healthcare. And my friend, today I told you we were going to be learning. And that is why we continue learning always. This is why I need to give you this specific email address, not even an email, a website, www.lifehealthcare.co.za. That is where you can go to when you possibly want to find out a little bit more about bipolar mood disorder. Maybe you've seen a few symptoms in someone that you love or even in yourself, and you want to hear and gain knowledge in terms of what exactly you need to know about it. It is lifehealthcare.co.za. And here's to us having a little bit of an easier time when it comes to our mental health, because you know how much we're all about that right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. For now, I want us to jump on over to Cape Town, because Cape Teasy Fo Sheezy, what is still to come today on our menu when we talk about feeling good, huh?
Well, yes, looking good. We know you still got to dress, Raul, and he keeps getting more undressed every time I see him. So please hurry and get your votes in. Then we're going to be focusing on aging gracefully. How do we, I suppose, inspire that glow from within and let that shine on the outside? Carissa's going to take us through what sounds like an absolutely beautiful journey in that regard.
It does, and I love the fact you're talking about shining from within, because you can do exactly that if you join us for fitness. And that's why I've got even less clothing on now, because I'm getting ready for Dale to come through. He's got an incredible workout. It involves Tupperware. Yes, pull your Tupperware out of the cupboard and get involved in a workout. You heard correctly, and it's going to be a lot of fun, especially if you've got a little bit of age on your side. Trust me, this is going to be a fun one.
Some wisdom. I like that. We're going to have a very wise training session after that. We'll see you now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
All right, Expresso fam, today we're diving into a topic that is so close to many of our hearts, and that is aging gracefully and maintaining that youthful glow. And joining me in studio are two incredible women who know all about just that. Now, we've got Laura Johnston, CEO of Phytoceutics, an integrative nutritional health coach. And we also have Dr. Baladin Kutsa, a GP with a special interest in aesthetic medicine. Please, let's give them a feel-good welcome. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
I'm very excited that we get to talk about this topic because let's also normalize talking about aging. I mean, let's be real. When we hit the 30s, late 30s, going into 40s, it's a reality that so many people face. Just considering that our bodies start showing changes. We don't only feel them, but it becomes quite visible too. So what are the telltale signs of aging, if we can delve into that? Things that you can pick up quite quickly when you see it.
Okay, common signs of aging, fine lines, skin laxity that decreases, dull skin tone. But you know what the actual first sign is that you're aging?
Tell me.
When you do this in the mirror. When you look better. When you start doing this.
And you can immediately see the difference.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Luckily in aesthetics, there's a lot of things that we can do to help and to prevent and to maintain. We have products that stimulate collagen formation. And something I started doing early, which I love, is mitochondrial support.
Right.
Some of the mitochondria is little things in your cells that make energy.
Ah, I love that you've touched on mitochondrial health because, Laura, I was going to bring you in to talk about that. Because, yes, you can take care of things like you're saying, Doc, but also taking care of yourself from the inside out is just as important. So from that mitochondrial health level, what can we start doing?
Yeah, so I mean, there's this term beauty from within, and there's definitely something to that in terms of nourishing your body from the inside in order to enhance it on the outside. And this mitochondrial health is very popular in medicine and aesthetic medicine and anti-aging at the moment. And essentially, if you can boost these mitochondria, they produce more energy, they help with cell renewal and cell turnover. And there's, I guess, a molecule that's really has its time in the sun at the moment called NMN. And it's a form of vitamin B3, and it really does boost the mitochondria. It helps with healthy aging, it helps with energy. And, you know, we've had a lot of older people, so over the age of 40, really feeling a massive difference when taking the supplement.
Wow, and I love that because there's no better way to judge something than by somebody telling you, I feel like a new woman. Because it does knock your confidence, right? I mean, if we look at society and realize that women are often left off the calendar at a certain point, but there are ways that we can mitigate that, which is actually the great news. And Doc, can I just say you're looking stunning? Rumor has it you're almost 50?
Through that next year.
How? Please tell me what is going on over here because I need to know the secret right now. Me and the Feel Good fam.
I do stuff.
Okay.
I think the first thing is consistency.
Yes.
There's not one thing that's going to make you look good forever.
Right.
So it's consistently investing in your future self. Things that you do for your skin now will benefit your skin later.
Yeah.
And there's never a good time to start or not to start. You can start wherever you are, but it's good to start in your 40s or earlier.
Because that's what I was going to ask you. Can it be too late for you?
No.
Or can it be too early for you?
It's never too late.
Okay.
An investment will always pay off.
Yeah.
And then the second thing is holistic approach. I mean, this is your machine. The better you look after your machine, the better it will treat you in the future. Fitness, health.
So it's
what you
holistic,
eat.
essentially.
It's holistic approach.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I love that. I mean, also with your supplements, we can't forget those as well. When it comes to supplements, can we maybe reference a couple that we can include in our diets from today?
Yeah, so there's a lot of research in the space at the moment, and I think, you know, people like David Sinclair, you know, Peter Attia talks about it a lot, Huberman also, and there are certain molecules like spermidine, ficitin, that stimulate autophagy, which is basically the cell turnover, and then something called senolytic activity. So often these cells sit there doing nothing, and it causes something called inflammaging. So it's inflammation that then causes aging. So trying to get rid of this inflammaging is important when it comes to healthy aging. So we've got the NMN with ficitin, we've got a new product called Cell Recover with spermidine, your omega-3s always key, quercetin, resveratrol, all of these can assist with this, I guess, cell turnover.
Is there a different approach when you're looking at anti-aging for men and women? Is it the same process or are they different sort of approaches that you take?
Definitely different. In some things the same, like managing your skin and your health, the same, but women go through menopause. And before that, you hit perimenopause.
Sure.
And that is completely different to men. So you have to support that phase of your life as well. Men have their own things that they go through hormonally.
Yeah.
But in that aspect, it's different.
I love that.
And your support that you have to take supplement-wise for that period of your life is very important.
I love that you mentioned that. I love the word support as well, because that's really what it is. Ladies, thank you so much. And Expresso fam, like they said, it's never too early or too late to begin. And aging beautifully isn't just about quick fixes, as you heard. It really is a long-term, consistent commitment to your wellness journey. And for those of you at home who want to learn more, I'm sure you do, Phytoceutics has an incredible range of products designed to support healthy aging from the inside out. All you have to do is visit their website or chat with a health practitioner to find the best options for you.
Optimize your gut health with Phytoceutics range of pre, pro and postbiotics. Use code EXPRESSO for 15% off at phytoceutics.com.
A beautiful conversation, and at that, let's keep that theme going right now and help you stay young, stay active, which I think is the key to any age. So today, let's do exactly that. Let's bring a fun, simple workout, which is designed for elderly women, to your forefront. And I think anybody can get involved in this because we all are definitely going to benefit. So before I chat to the man that's going to be introducing us to this one, I want to tell you about what we're going to be using here. We're going to be using just a Tupperware lid, which we'll focus on, involving strength, mobility, and coordination. And I think this is something that is going to be fun for even the kids to get involved in. So make sure there's no food in your Tupperware before you start this one. And let's have some fun, because the man of the hour is here and has brought along his prized positions in class, his top students. This is Dale Hendricks from DDJ Coaching and Personal Training. He's joining us to take us through our paces. And I'm in prized positions because these are the gems of his crew, our aficionados. They have no age limit whatsoever. But Dale, how are you doing this morning, man?
I'm good, excited to be here.
Yeah?
So thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, and listen, I'm just chatting about the incredible work that your students have done so far. I'm so proud of them, and I'm so glad that we get to work out with them. But what is this, bro? What are we doing?
We're doing the Tupperware lid today. So as you know, we're trying to, be creative, trying to spice things up a little bit, trying to make fitness accessible for everyone,
Nice.
There's no excuse. We're going with that concept, no excuses.
I love
Wherever
it.
you find yourself, there's always something we can use to do a good workout,
Let's get it going then. So what are we going to do with this, man? What are the exercises?
So the lid's going to act as a plate, a weight plate. So we're going to do a few basics, and we're starting with a nice 1-by-1 knee lift, and we're going to just do a row, okay? So we lift those knees, engage the core.
Ooh. So this is like, what would you say, simulating a weight plate? This is keeping the good form, keeping your posture in check as well?
Keeping the very important posture. As trainers, we know how important the form is, the posture, in order for us to have the maximum impact. And as we're doing a senior elderly workout, it's also light, not too heavy for the joints and the muscles.
But I think that again also just highlights the effectiveness of a good workout and good exercise. You don't need a lot of weight. You need to just have the form like you mentioned. You need a good coach like Dale behind you that can get you all the best bits out of that movement and really get the body stimulated. So right now it feels like the core's working quite a bit.
Yeah, so
Hip
we're going for a
flexors.
few more. 1,
Nice.
2, and 3. Okay.
These two behind me making it look too easy, huh?
Yeah. So if you like, you go for active rest, and then 10-second rest, we go on to the next one, okay? So we're just going for figure 8 squats. So we're going down. As we go down, we're gonna put it through our legs, right? Come up and down. Just switch it all the time. Here we go. Let's
It's
get
like
the chest out.
playing basketball, but we're not bouncing the ball.
Yeah.
All right. And I can see what's happening here because I did a little bit of a leg workout yesterday, and I can feel my legs on this workout quite a bit again. So this means we're using our legs for this. We're using the lower body, a lot of the coordination coming through. So this is going to keep our mind healthy as well.
Exactly.
Nice,
3,
Dale.
2, and 1.
Woo.
Okay, cool. So let's active rest. Like I said, we can do about 5 to 10 exercises depending on your fitness level or how much time you have,
Yeah.
So the next one, we're just going for some side squat. So we're gonna start center, and as we go to the side, we push out the lid, okay? So we're going out, in. There we go. So exhale, inhale. Beautiful. Keep that chest out, keep the back straight. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, And 1.
Oh,
Lovely
nice,
stuff.
man. Feeling this one.
Active rest.
Lekker.
Let's keep it going, okay? Okay, for some squats, but we're gonna rotate the lid on our arms. Okay, ladies, we're still good?
Yeah,
So we're gonna open it up.
Good.
So one arm behind the back, keep the chest out. So we're going down. As we come up, we switch the arm. Here we go. Chest out, eyes in front of you. Beautiful.
I love the coordination here because, again, it's just focusing on that timing, giving me something more fun to do than just focus on the squat itself. So you're distracting me from the burn, and that's inevitable. And I think if we can be distracted by that, that means we can get more reps in, we can work out for longer, and claim back our power, claim our youth back.
Yes.
And this is what we're about today.
3, 2, and 1.
Oh, beautiful, Dale. That is incredible stuff. I can clearly see why these ladies are getting younger and younger as they keep moving. And I encourage you to do exactly that. This is the secret. This is the answer. Keep moving. You've got no excuse. And like Dale just said, you can grab Tupperware at home and have a workout. You can replicate this one, go for a couple rounds and have some fun. If you want some more inspiration, then maybe reach out to Dale online. He's got an incredible amount of work and his skill set is so good. And maybe you can even go pop in and join one of his classes. For now, though, I think I'm ready to get on with the rest of the show. G-Man, what else is happening, brother? Whew, that was nice, dude.
Man.
Can we just get you dressed already? Just put some clothes on, man. That's all we need. You can still help to choose Ryle's clothing. Proving that South Africa is so hot right now, we welcome another international artist. Manifest is here, and Zanele will be connecting in just a moment. And then we are going a little gaga for b-ball. We're going to connect you with Rowan Malchus from the NBA. And there is a reason why basketball is exploding in South Africa, and we are making these connections between our league and the NBA. We want to find out more, and we'll do that after this. Nice, boy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's very true, my lovely. You're on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And this morning, right here is where you want to be, because I told you earlier on we would be getting into some celebrating where we have a Ghanaian king in the house. Yes, he is not only a rapper and a songwriter, he's someone who honestly has some of the most incredible lyricism you'll ever come across. And today we get to celebrate Manifest with his brand new album. Yes, it is called New Road and Guava Trees. And it is the one that came out right after a 2-year hiatus. So we want to know where he's been, but we also want to get into this beautiful new album, his 6th studio album to be exact. And of course, it was released under the global record label Mass Appeal. And today it is a celebration indeed. Everyone, let's give him a feel-good welcome, please. Manifest, how are you?
I'm very good. That was a wonderful introduction.
It's the truth. I forgot award-winning, actually.
Oh, man.
You know that's right.
Yes, exactly.
How are you in terms of just, having put out this body of work? How's it been going?
It feels so gratifying,
Yeah.
Just putting in work for years and then being able to put it out in the universe. And at that point, you don't control it, but
yes.
just watching and listening to people respond to it is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and the music sounds so good.
Thank you.
We're going to get to that. But I always want to take it to the beginning because I feel like, you're someone who was born in Accra and now you're taking over the world. Speak to us about what it was like actually growing up in Accra and, the way in which it influenced your music even.
Yeah, I think growing up in Accra, I was exposed to many facets of life. I like to say I was an outside kid.
Okay, why?
because I loved being outside. I was not a video gamer. I was the one who was playing football in the streets.
Yes.
I loved being outside, and that, you get to interact with a lot of people, music.
Yes.
So I wasn't just listening to the music that was home. I was listening to music that was outside. I also remember growing up and there weren't that many TV or radio stations.
Really?
So we all got to see the same thing at a point.
Oh, wow, guys.
Yeah, but no, it was great generally growing up, and I think in a very typical urban African environment where you get to really feel like African culture, but in a very specific way.
Yes.
Where you get the vibrations of the city and the many multiple characters that are in it.
Yeah.
That for me forms the basis of a lot of what I do, the storytelling, because of childhood encounters with a wide array of people.
That's beautiful. Let's see if we really are the same. Do you still wash dishes at home?
God forbid.
So we're not the same. We're not the same. They say to me, you might be on TV, you're still going to wash those dishes.
No. I mean, listen, I have a son, and I definitely physically wash dishes with him once or twice, but
that's good.
It's not a preferred thing for me to do.
Okay,
I've done enough in my childhood.
Okay, fair enough. But talk to us a little bit about, when we now speak about, your family and the support structure that you grew up with, were they saying, yes, go into music, follow your heart, or was it a little bit of a struggle here and there?
No, it was no struggle because I really clocked what you had to do with African parents and African families.
What did you have to do?
You don't ask them permission, you just do it.
That's what I did.
Exactly.
I love that, yes.
And they prefer to see fruits of your labor than you talk about dreams of grandeur.
Yeah.
Nobody's here for these your plenty dreams. You have to, as they say back home, show working.
100%.
So for me, it was a smooth road because I showed working, and also, to be honest, I really begun professionally outside. I went to college in the U.S., so when I was done, that's when I really kind of began my career professionally. So being at a distance from home too was kind of useful.
Beautiful.
So I was not reporting myself.
I love that. Not reporting yourself. That is my favorite. Yeah. Talk to us about this 2-year hiatus and the fact that New Road and Guava Trees came out of it. Please just give us that, that journey and how it all just came together.
I mean, one could call it a hiatus, but for me, I think it's it's a planting process, and as an artist sometimes, especially not a new artist, somebody who's been doing it, I think evolving requires a bit of introspection and also spending time to really figure out a new road. And so for me, that's what it was. It's just trying to figure out something, the dope next steps, and I figured out that in the process, and I'm quite pleased with that.
That's beautiful. And the new album, I mean, here you come out of your semi-hiatus and you're like, bam, guys, here's the music. Talk to us about what it was you really wanted everyone to experience while listening to it.
Yeah, I wanted them to experience sonically an evolution. And, I think for me, I have always stuck to being able to hybridize hip-hop and African music.
Yes.
And so for me, having that identity there, very strong, and in a global-facing way was important, and also just all the different things that I say to inspire and uplift people, I was still putting it out there,
Beautiful. And, of course, you did it under Mass Appeal.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you guys. I think that's epic, and it's really huge.
Yes, it's a really good match,
Yeah, I think so, too.
Feels like a marriage,
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Wedding bells is what we're hearing.
Yeah, we said the vows, and everybody's happy ever after.
I love it. No divorcing, guys. Please, thank you.
No. We just made a baby New Road and Guava Trees.
Oh, beautiful. Manifest. I'm so glad you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You can tell he's great vibes. And my friend, today, I tell you this, we're going to be blown away by his beautiful performances that he's going to be giving. So you got so many reasons to stick around right here on your Feel Good Breakfast show. But with that being said, of course, we always have vibes in Johannesburg. Kate Teasy, Sheezy, what's going on, honey?
Yeah, let's bring the vibes back to Cape Town right now. But before we bring anything else, we've got to bring your official duties because it's just gone on the hour. And I think it's time and perfect timing for headlines. So starting off with the national headlines at that, and the anti-tax abuse group OUTA has called on Transport Minister Barbara Creecy to address 3 pressing concerns for motorists. Now, OUTA wants an extension of driving license validity to cut costs and red tape, and arguing that global research supports the move. Now, the organization also demands clarity on South Africa's only driver's license card printer, which frequently breaks down and is currently out of service. Now, OUTA CEO Wayne Duvenage further raised concerns over controversial IDEMIA tender for a new printer. Now, this which was flagged for irregularities by the Auditor General. Next up, Cooperative Governance Minister Vilankosini Schlabisa has announced 1.4 billion rand in disaster relief funds for 5 provinces hit by recent disasters. Now, the money will aid infrastructure repairs, restore basic services, and assist communities in the Eastern Cape, Limpopo, Mpumalanga, the Free State, and KwaZulu-Natal. Now, at least 40 people lost their lives in recent disasters. Now, allocations include 149 million rand for provincial departments and 231 million rand for municipal recovery efforts. Now, Schlabisa expressed concern over poor reporting and accountability, warning that funds must be used within 12 months and vowed stricter oversight to prevent misuse. Well, we now move to international headlines, and first up, over 2,000 people have died in Myanmar, and that's following a devastating earthquake, prompting a week of national mourning. Now, the UN launched an $8 million appeal, warning of a worsening humanitarian crisis with hospitals damaged and overwhelmed. Now, rescue teams continue to search for survivors, including 74 workers trapped in a collapsed high-rise. Now, in Thailand, at least 20 died and thousands were evacuated. And footage from China shows nurses shielding newborns as tremors struck, all escaping unhurt. Now, aid efforts face challenges, and that's due to Myanmar's ongoing conflict worsening the humanitarian crisis. Now, next up, a planned protest demanding Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa, and that's his resignation, which saw low turnouts yesterday as citizens stayed home amid heavy security. Now, led by war veterans accusing him of corruption and clinging to power, the protest was swiftly dispersed by police. Now, protest leader Blessed Geze urged more action, calling for Vice President Constantine Chiwenga to replace Mnangagwa. And Mnangagwa, who took power in 2017 after a coup against Robert Mugabe, faces growing discontent. And Zimbabwe's ambassador to South Africa dismissed reports of unrest, insisting that the country remains stable. Now, lastly, in our headlines, in the heart of Sidwan-Dweni, and that's in the Eastern Cape, love took center stage this past weekend. And that was as Miss Universe 2019, Zozibini Tunzi, celebrated her traditional wedding to childhood sweetheart Lutando Sweetboy Bulawana. And that was filling the village with music, joy, and the warmth of family and friends. Now, the couple had officially tied the knot at a picturesque Cape Winelands venue in Paarl on March the 23rd. Now, Bulawana, a businessman with an honors degree in business administration, comes from a family rooted in tradition, and his mother, Magistrate Tendiwa Mazichwana, even went to school with Tunzi's father, Lunkisa. Now, dressed in umbako, Wuzozi proved that love isn't about wealth or fame, and her love story is rooted in destiny. And definitely destined to have a beautiful family and marriage at that, and we're looking forward to it. But for now, though, let's look forward to the rest of the headlines. And here's G-Man with the latest when it comes to all things sport.
Thank you so much. Well, let's kick it off with the IPL and debutant Ashwani Kumar stunning 4 for 24, helping the Mumbai Indians crush Kolkata Knight Riders by 8 wickets yesterday, securing their first IPL win of the season. So KKR were bowled out for just 116 before Mumbai chased it down in just under 13 overs. Ashwani becoming the first Indian to take 4 wickets on his IPL debut, in so doing sealing a commanding victory at the Wankhede Stadium, and one that they desperately needed. Now we need to get the W's back on the cards for the Blitzboks, and David Brits aims to bring new energy and impact as he joins them for the HSBC Sevens in Singapore. So he and Sebastian Job replaced the injured Kieran Nokia and Gino Cupido. That was after South Africa's rather disappointing 9th place finish in Hong Kong. So the Blitzboks have got a tough pool. They face Great Britain and Hong Kong champions Argentina in a condensed format where only the pool winners advance to the semi-finals, so even more unforgiving. Now let's turn to the 15-man game and the honours where they are due. UFS Shimlas, they secured the final Varsity Cup semi-final spot with a crucial bonus point win over Tuks in Pretoria. Then Marties, they topped the log after defeating Wits, who are now relegated to Varsity Shield. Then UCT's Ikeys, they edged out UJ to finish 3rd, setting up a semi-final up against Tuks. And then UJ, they're down in 7th, and that means they're in the promotion relegation playoff up against Madibas, and that one happens on the 5th of May. Now, it's been a tough year for Manchester City, and it's going to be a little tougher now as their top scorer, Erling Haaland, faces a spell on the sidelines after suffering an ankle injury. That was after their 2-1 FA Cup quarter-final win over Bournemouth over the weekend. The 24-year-old, who netted his 30th goal of the season before the injury, has no confirmed return date, but they could use so a lot in it. But that's where we leave our sport for now. Let's see if the roads have woken up.
Guys, let's take a look at what's happening in your traffic to hopefully get you to work a little bit earlier than normal. Starting off in Gauteng, Germiston. Back-to-back traffic is being experienced along the N12 westbound before Gluli's interchange. Please remember to try and drive safely over there when you're out on the road and adhere to the rules of the road, just because there is a little bit of a delay. Then still in Gauteng, Randburg, delays are expected for motorists making use of the N1 northbound after Malibongwe Drive. Traffic is slow moving, so do plan your route accordingly. Then in the mother city, Athlone, there's been an accident, unfortunately, on the N2 outbound before Jake's Herval Drive, resulting in a right lane closure. Restricted lanes are causing slow-moving traffic, so do allow for additional time in terms of travel when it comes to that. Right about now, let's check out what's happening with your weather. The South African Weather Service has issued a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms across parts of KZN, Northwest and Free State, with damaging winds, excessive lightning, hail and heavy downpours expected. A yellow level 1 warning is in place for Northern Eastern Cape, also predicting severe thunderstorms. Meanwhile, Magalies Water is finalizing a master plan for water supply and sanitation in the Northwest, focusing on expanding access to previously underserved areas. A spokesperson for Magalies Water, David Magai, said it was essential to ensure that water is accessible to all residents, which, as I said earlier, is something we always love to hear because everybody needs some water, right? Right about now, I want to remind you that everybody needs a little bit of what is happening on your side of life, which is your sunrise view. And this morning, John from Durban, where it is going to be 30 degrees Celsius, still enjoying some of that side. I can't believe this beautiful picture. Oh my goodness. This looks like something that was taken out of a storybook. It looks like it was painted by Picasso himself. Absolutely stunning, John. And thank you for blessing us with it this morning. The orange and red hues, and even just the water and the sky. Oh, it's just perfect. And Mzansi, this is your example of what we want to see on 063-408-8863. Come and show us what it is you're waking up to. Right now, let's see what's happening when it comes to your temperatures for the day. And that is what your temperatures are looking like. And today, I always remind you that no matter what's happening on your side of life, I promise, we'll be your sunshine on your television, okay? And one of the reasons for your sunshine is because we always tell you how you can be a winner. Mzansi, play Powerball for a life-changing jackpot estimated at 90 million rand this Tuesday. And my friend, you could win big, literally by just heading on out and getting yourself a ticket. And it's not just winning big, it's winning big millions. And that is where I ask you, what are you waiting for? Play now and do the right thing by heading on over to nationallottery.co.za, or you can buy now in store, or you can use the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120*7529#. That's *120*7529# for USSD. It is always about what we want you to do, which is win, and that is why we put up these details on our Expresso Show pages. You can head on out to social media and check it out there. However, friend, I need to remind you to panda push up play Powerball for an estimated 90 million rand jackpot today, and you could win big. And who doesn't want to win? Come on, do the right thing and put yourself in the stead to hopefully be a lucky winner today. Speaking of being lucky, we're always so lucky when we get to dress our Ken doll. I'm talking about Ryle. This morning he asked you, which one is it? Option 1 or option 2? And oh my goodness, Cape Town, let's see what's going on. How did we fare in terms of votes this morning, huh?
Oh, I have a feeling of all the titles that he has earned in his life, Ken doll is probably the one he's most proud of. I can feel the pride beaming. Winter is for cuddling, yes, but it's also for layering, okay? A little bit earlier, Ryle did ask for your guys at home to help him choose between two very layered, cool looks, a casual, refined look, and then a slightly more polished, but also with a bit of a laid-back vibe to kind of keep it in the feel-good space. So let's see how y'all are feeling about our outfits. Mark Gavin, good morning. Mark, great to connect with you. Brown chino styled with a classic knit polo neck layered with a check shacket and retro sneakers. I like it. I like what you're putting down. So definitely option 2 for Mark. Al-Marie Prince saying, oh, you can't choose. No, let's do option 2. Okay. No, it is tough. With Raul, he could look amazing in everything. So you understand our pain, okay? And then Edward saying, good morning. All option 2, please. Thanks for saying please, like we're giving you something. We are going to give you something right now. Built to 2-layer. You can shop this amazing look right now, but let's reveal it. Mr. Ryle de Mornay. Dun, dun, dun.
It's as cold as ice.
Nice shacket
What do
there,
you
my
think,
friend.
bro?
I'm so glad that you're wearing the shacket because just to say it is amazing for me.
I know you can't see or feel things, so you can see. You can't feel it, but it feels so soft.
It's like a furry. You don't mind me just reaching in there.
Go for it. I think this is what you got to expect when you wear a jacket like this. People are going to want to come hug you, embrace you.
I did say it is the season for cuddles.
But hey, Mzansi, I think you cracked this one. You got it right. I feel so good. I feel warm. I feel comfortable. But more importantly, I feel cool. And I mean that figuratively because honestly, dude, I can walk with a different swag, just like wearing this jacket.
It's the polo neck, man. Don't let the power of the polo neck go to your head, dude. Yeah. There is something, the swag that seems to come with a good knit like that. But I love it. I love the color blocking. I love the kind of neutral tones. But we've still got some geometry in there, so it doesn't just fade away. It looks beautiful on, and it looks so cozy and comfy, man. But like you say, with a nice little high fashion edge, very beautiful.
Oh, and this is me, man. Like, it gives me the option to not keep the shacket on if it's getting a bit too hot, because you know the weather constantly changes in South Africa, and that means that I've got options when it comes to looking good, no matter what the occasion. So thank you, Mzansi. Y'all have come through.
Now we're just going to make an occasion out of today. Built to 2-layer, as you can see, you can shop the look now at Woolworths, available in store, online, or using their amazing app. Enjoy.
Thank you.
My name is Tandile Mafanya. I am founder of an events company and marketing agency. I don't like to think too much when I think about what I have to wear. Love being outside as well and just being one with, I guess, the world.
All right, in just a moment, we are going to be connecting with BAL's Quinton Dennison to find out why everyone is just losing their minds.
I don't know if it's the footwork or the skill set. I think it's a combination of all of it. But it's a talent like no other, and we can't wait to discuss that. And then the ABSA Women's Invitational has also come into our doorstep, so we've got every reason to not go anywhere. Maybe get a quick coffee, and then we'll see you straight after this. It's going to get better and better.
I've got to stroke the shacket again.
I feel so good.
It's so nice.
You need to get this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is true, you're on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we're coming to you live from the Samsung showroom in Johannesburg. And friend, today I can tell you this much. The celebration continues because the BAL is back. It is the Basketball Africa League, forgive me, and I'm so excited. Why? Because it is all about thrilling matchups, fresh talent, and a whole lot of things that have not happened yet on this African continent when it comes to basketball, okay? And that is the most beautiful thing about it. It is continuously growing, and that is why we're always seeing firsts over and over again. And in terms of us getting ready for it the right way, we had to bring in a big gun, a guy who understands basketball inside out, but he's also one of the biggest reasons that it continues to grow on the African continent. So, my friend, please can we welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, it is none other than Quinton Dietician, who is a former SA player, but also the BAL commentator of note that we love. Let's give him a feel good welcome, please.
Woohoo.
Quinton, how are you?
I feel good after that welcome.
You
for real.
better, okay? Because we love you here.
I love being here. Thank you very much.
Of course. King, how are you feeling about this new season?
Well, BAL Season 5, I have every reason to be absolutely elated. I mean, first of all, you keep seeing the tangible growth of the game on the continent. After last year, you know, when the BAL came to South Africa for the first time and the home fans actually got to see home team, which was the then Cape Town Tigers, here in Pretoria, in Sunbed. It was amazing. And so this year, everything is a little different. BAL Season 5, you know, 6 new teams, and I think it's going to be completely exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. The story starts this Saturday, April 5th, and it's going to be, and then the book gets written in BAL Season 5.
I love that so much. And Quinton, one of my favorite things as well is just like you said, you know, BAL came to South Africa for the first time. It was a huge thing. You know, he had some of the biggest personalities out there going to watch. It was filled out almost every single day, which was incredible. But talk to me just about the impact that BAL has actually had in terms of the growth of basketball across Africa.
You know, I like facts and figures because I'm a commentator. And so I saw a fact and figure that was quoted by Claire Akamanzi, who's the CEO of NBA Africa, and she said that $250 million has been added to the economy, you know, just the African economy. And that's just tangible fiscal impact. But when you think about the growth of the game and, you know, the emergence of clubs in different regions, I always look at first player impact. So you try to see which names you didn't know before and that people recognize now. I think because MBB is going to be representing South Africa in the Basketball Africa League. That was a club that was unknown before. It's a locally homegrown club. And they've managed to earn their spot, wildcard spot into the BAL this year. But they have a player called Nati Sibanyoni. Last year, broke the BAL record, you know, in terms of rebounds on the court. And he's now a continental name. So, you know, when you think about impact, you think about first growth in terms of clubs and impact that they have and visibility, but then you also think about players and names and how would that have existed without the Basketball Africa League in the same way? Arguably, you could say no.
That's beautiful. And I mean, you know what? With you saying that 6 teams are now being added to the league, I'm like, that is a lot of teams. And I also was going to be like, I hope it's not a real AM situation where there's just teams coming out of nowhere that we don't even know. But with you saying they earned their accreditation and earned their right, talk to us a little bit more about that.
So everyone is a winner in their country, the champion. So this is like, so the format is, I don't like soccer analogies, or football analogies, but it's the Champions League, right? So best clubs all vying out for the right to become the African champion. So when you look at it from that perspective, when you say 6, it's not 6 clubs added, essentially it's 6 new teams because the local competition strengthens. And this is another byproduct of what you see in terms of, you know, competition. Steel sharpens steel. So arguably, leagues are getting better. There are more and more entrants into the leagues locally, and it's just making the competition better. And because we're seeing 6 new teams, that means that 6 new owners have taken their responsibility to try and get their team on this international platform, and they've managed to get their teams there.
That's beautiful. And I think, you know, it's going to make for a very exciting time because, like you say, it allows for that competition to grow, right? But then let's talk about the competition. Who must we look out for, especially us who are now new fans of basketball? Who are the players? Who are the teams? What should we be trying to really get behind?
I do this. So I'm going to say there's 12 different teams, 12 different stories. You can pick a team and I can tell you a story from a team. But obviously, let's bring it home first because MBB, made by basketball, this is a locally brewed story, you know, a team from Gauteng. They make their entry into the Basketball Africa League. I think it's going to be interesting. They go into a very tough conference. They're going to be playing in Rwanda against APR, but also Al Ahly, which is a new entrant into the league as well.
Okay.
They have 2 players that dominated the BAL last year. So Joe Luel Achuel picked up 4 awards, right? As an individual, it's the first time it's ever been done. He broke the BAL scoring record, and alongside his partner Majok Deng, and they have Jean-Jacques Boissy, who's arguably one of the most prominent up-and-coming point guards on the continent from Senegal. Those are names that you need to look out for. I mentioned Nati Sibanyoni.
Yes, you did.
But we got to look out for him. There's a young player there's a young player on MBB and an old player on MBB. So Nino Dim is a young and up-and-coming player that I think will have an impact for MBB. But we have our own legend who's going to be making his entry into the Basketball Africa League. Neo Matiba is a name that is well known by South African basketball fans. And 43 years old. He's going to be making his debut on the floor. He has been involved in every aspect of the game. So, you know, this is another spin-off from what the league offers. We get to tell our stories. Guys who've grown the game, who've been in the game. And there's a Neo Matiba almost in every team.
Beautiful.
Right? And these stories need to be told. But he's our story, and I think that's someone we need to look out for.
So he's our LeBron, essentially.
Neo would love me to say that, but
okay,
he's definitely a story worth telling. But you know,
he's a semi-LeBron. Maybe perhaps one day.
He is a living legend here in South Africa.
Yeah, and I think that is why I really appreciate what is happening in terms of basketball, because someone who's a living legend that we didn't even 100% know about in terms of all over the country, now basketball's getting the spotlight. We're getting to know about people like that, so I really love that. And thank you, Quinton, for the way in which you're allowing for basketball to just grow, not just in SA, but all over the continent.
I think we thank the BAL and the NBA. It's been absolutely amazing. I'm just a conduit. I get to wake up and I get to live and love what I do. You know, I can't think of anything better than just waking up and being given the opportunity to go courtside and watch and talk about something that I really love.
Come on. Well, honey, you are the conduit, like you said, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much, Quinton.
Thank you so much, Sanele.
Oh, my goodness. BAL is back, baby, and so much is going to be happening. You got to make sure that you do follow it because, my friend, it is going to be interesting indeed. 6 new teams. What? That's crazy. Unheard of in so many different leagues. And this time around, I am looking forward to it, especially with us as South Africa being part of all of that excitement. Right about now, though, I need you to make sure you do not go anywhere because, my friend, there's still so much more to come right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. KTZ, Fo Sheezy, what it do, baby?
In the stories. We love the game when you can put a little bit of skin in it and you can get fully invested. Absolutely love that. Please send us our jerseys. We would like to. Thanks.
We want to be dripping in swag, but we've got to do that in another way because when we're talking about inclusion and visibility, I think these are keys to unlocking potential. And thanks to the incredible ABSA Ladies Invitational, we got to see some of the finest amateur and professional golfers taking women's sport to new heights. So let's take a look and see. 4.
Today we celebrate the talent, passion and determination of the incredible women taking part in the ABSA Ladies Invitational 2025, showcasing the athletes that excel both on and off the court. Candice, we are at this absolutely gorgeous golf course today. Can you tell us what today is about?
And we're so excited to be part of the Sunshine Ladies Tour. Really, from an ABSA Invitational tournament, it's all about bringing women together, professional golf players, to really drive the initiative of getting more women to play golf, where we want to drive equality, diversity within this beautiful sport. Today, we're hosting our clients, our stakeholders, to get a chance to play with our female pros and really show them what they've got.
And it's so incredible to be here. Just seeing the size of this tournament and all the people taking part is incredible. Can you please talk to me about the impact that ABSA has on the women involved in golf?
We're so excited to be able to start this journey last year in 2024. And in 2025, it's the second year that we're sponsoring the ABSA Invitational Tournament. at the heart of it, it's really to inspire women to get onto the golf course, because we know that business deals are done on and off the golf course. We hope that today, through our media and stakeholders, they're also going to enjoy clinics and get a little touch of what it is to hold a golf club, hit a golf ball, and maybe we inspire them to just grow our community of women on the golf course.
Oh man, I feel like this is one of the most exciting breakfasts I've ever attended, and I say that because it's a whole bunch of ladies coming together all in the name of the ABSA Invitational that for me has been such an eye-opener, because I don't think we necessarily understand what the gaps are when we talk about golf and women and men and just actually trying to get us on the same playing field.
What a beautiful day we're having here today. How are you feeling about today's event?
I'm feeling good, but I'm a bit nervous because it's my first time playing with pros at a big event like this.
What level of playing are you at the moment, and where do you aspire to be?
I am on the Interprovincial Central Gauteng level, and I want to be on the LPGA Pro level.
Now, for another 11-year-old sitting at home who wants to start playing golf, what would you say to encourage them?
Don't give up and always try your hardest. Even if you're not the greatest, you will always become the greatest one day.
When it comes to the Sunshine Tour, the Ladies Sunshine Tour, it's such an amazing experience. It really showcases some of South Africa's best female golfers. And to be honest, this is where you see the next international greats. They're coming out of tours like this.
It's great being a part of this event. It's amazing having ABSA as a sponsor. I've been playing the last few years, and it's always great to be playing in South Africa. Beautiful weather, great people, and amazing golf courses.
When it comes to sports like golf, it is unfortunately at the moment a very male-dominated sport, and we have to speak up about that fact. And then when it comes to the Sunshine Ladies Tour, they're creating a safe environment for women to participate in this sport. It's great women competing against great women, not only in South Africa, but the fact that we're looking at co-sanctioning events with the European Tour. Things like this is what's going to grow golfing for females in South Africa. So the more corporates that get involved, people like ABSA, the more development that happens into the sport, is that it really does open the doors for young South African females to get into the sport.
Being part of this event means that my career is able to flourish, and that I'm about to show young South Africans that they can do what I'm doing right now, especially because they think that this is a male-dominant sport, which it is not. I'm trying to change that right now. Knowing that these big people are attending these type of competitions, I really work on my mindset, because it really can damage you on the course. Just think positive, fix your mindset, know that you can do this and you're here because you did this.
I think for women in sports, we need sponsorship, right? And we need support. There's the development angle, but there are also so many pros that just need that footing and that opportunity to make it to the next level. I'm so glad that ABSA has put their foot forward. It's been needed for a very long time. We have incredible athletes in our country. They deserve to be on the global stage. And the only way they're going to get there is by brands like ABSA supporting them through events like the ABSA Ladies Invitational.
The highlights for today's event for me definitely have to be the networking opportunities. We spoke a lot about how business deals happen on and off the golf course, mostly on the golf course. And I learned that just from being in today's setting where there were people from so many different walks of life, that this truly is where those important conversations happen.
I feel very accomplished for winning this tournament, and I would like to thank my partners and all that for the help to play well.
It feels really good. We had lots of fun out there, so it was really lovely watching the young ones play out there, and yeah, there was so much fun out there.
It feels great knowing that this is my first ABSA Invitational, but having such an amazing team, it's very much possible.
It may be a wrap for now, but the magical moments experienced on the course today leave me feeling very excited about the future of women's sports. From here, I can only imagine that we go bigger and better. And as ABSA always says, our stories truly do matter.
I give it all of about 3 seconds before we find Ayanda G. Tabete out on a golf course every single day. Absolutely. She's on the money. It's that strategic network, those relationships that are formed in that space that are going to make the difference here, I think.
You can truly see it, and I think you can truly be honest and say that we've been inspired. And I think it's time for us to keep creating platforms that empower women to be strong, to be confident, and clearly to be unstoppable.
Oh man, it was the best golf day ever. And honestly, I can't wait to see what ABSA continues to do. But my friends, today, what are we going to be doing? Well, we got a lot on the menu. And speaking of menus, you know, Color Your Plate with Coup always has the best one. And they only ever have the best chefs in the kitchen, which is why today I'm so excited for us to get to know Letu. She is the one that we're profiling in terms of that. And I can tell you this much, we're going to be feasting, my friend. Then also on the way, we're getting to know how we can balance our bodies from within, not from the outside, all of the things that they sometimes give us a headache. It's from the inside. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we still got a whole lot more to do right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It is indeed, and oh my goodness, we're feeling good because you're feeling good. And this is why the goodness continues with us getting to know Color Your Plate's Letu. She is one of the most incredible chefs. And how do I know that? Friend, she's part of Color Your Plate with Coup. We're getting to know all about her and just how much she loves being in the kitchen. But where exactly did it all begin? Well, take a look at this.
My love for cooking comes from my family, because we're a family of good cooks and we do quite a lot of celebrations in the family. So it is in such celebrations that I enjoy cooking with family, and I love creating new flavors as well. My cooking dream is to be a Michelin star chef. I get inspired a lot by our very own chef Jan Hendricks, who was South Africa's first Michelin star chef. So in my cooking dream then, I want to do a lot of traveling, a lot of cooking, a lot of meeting new other chefs, and just to be international. How I handle pressure in the kitchen is by staying calm and thinking about what I need to do. And what I was taught in culinary school is what we call mise en place, which is preparation, putting everything into place before you start the process of cooking, so that actually eases down the pressure. Coup has always been part of our cooking in the family, I just remember when we were young, there's this funny salad that we used to make using Coup beans. We would put Coup beans, the Viennas, and mayonnaise. I love how Coup has grown over the years as a brand, because we've been using it since I was young, and I'm still using it now, even as a professional chef. Welcome to my family, the Etenda household. So I normally cook with my aunt and my older sister, because in our family, that's how we do it. Normally, the older takes care of the young. But because I love cooking, I enjoy cooking, I usually join my aunt and my sister. So we're currently making bread, which is going to be stuffed with the Coup chakalaka.
Little one, she loves cooking. Our relationship, we got very closer, especially because we've got a lot of other sisters, other siblings, because both of us share a love of cooking. But we fight a lot in the kitchen because she's a perfectionist. So I'm not a professional, so we're always fighting because she wants to do things the professional way. But I just enjoy being around her because I learned so much in terms of the kitchen and just home stuff, because it's what she loves, it's her passion.
The most special person in my life and the most person that I'm closest to in the family is my dad, right here next to me. That's because he's a very loving father. He's very supportive. He believes in everything that I do in my culinary journey.
Leto's love of food is that when she was very young, she used to love to eat when she was young first, and then she pushed her to go to kitchen a lot, and then we managed to touch here, to start things, to cook himself, maybe food is not like this. And then for me, I see it was in her. So I support her for everything. When she said to me, Papa, I live like this. So me, I say, no, daughter, go for it. It was for you. She has everything to win that competition because she has everything. I believe that.
Letu is a very energetic individual. She is very vibrant. Without her in the family, it gets quite quiet at times. So I personally love spending some time with her because she is always the one that looks on the bright side.
I entered Color Your Plates with Coup because it's a challenge and I love challenges. I believe it's the only way to grow. So I wanted to grow my career and just myself as a brand, and I believe I will learn more in the competition from the esteemed judges of Coup. My game plan into winning the competition is doing what I normally do in kitchen, using all the culinary techniques that I've learned in my culinary journey, but using South African flavors. And most of the time when I create a new dish, I look into creating different textures, but being minimal on flavor. Of course, I have what it takes to win Color Your Plates with Coup Season 4. And to other contestants, listen, watch out, because Letu is coming for you.
Oh, guys, let's give her a feel-good welcome. It's Letu from Color Your Plate with Coup. Letu, how are you, baby?
Oh, very well. Very happy to be here.
Yes.
Very excited. Thank you for having me.
We're even happier to have you with us, not just because you're cooking us food today. It's also because we really love your work. I mean, there's a reason why you're on Color Your Plate with Coup, and congratulations for that. And before you cook us something delicious today is vol au vent. Is that right?
Very correct.
Vol au vent, thank you. I'm cultured.
The accent is correct
thank
also.
You. Oh, Mom, I hope you're proud. My lady, talk to us about your first dish that you ever perfected as a chef. What was it?
Okay, so I went to hotel school. So as a chef professionally, at the end of the year, we've got practicals.
Yes.
So, I mean, it wasn't like the best dish, but I made, I coated seafood. That's basically my favorite food. And the plating and everything was great, and it was perfect, and I got full marks.
Ooh, full marks even, Sana. Must be nice, must be nice. Now you're getting full marks on Color Your Plate with Coup. Tell us a little bit also just in terms of you and always incorporating South African flavors. You know, what is it about those South African flavors that you feel like are better than every other flavor that's out there that you could be incorporating?
If I can tell you, Zanele, South African flavors are very unique, and Why I say that is because they're very vibrant, they're very diverse.
Yes.
Just like the country itself. So, I mean, and it's the flavors that I grew up eating. It's actually the flavors that I know. So I like taking that into another level, changing it here and there.
I love that. And I also feel like as a chef, you're someone who's very, very dynamic. You use a lot of different things, but you always, of course, stay true to that South African vibe. But let's jump into you and saying that you one day want to be a Michelin star chef, darling.
Yep.
Yes, and you draw inspiration from Jan Hendrik. What is it about his chef ways that you really appreciated?
Chef Jan uses French techniques, but using South African flavors. And that's who I am, literally. So going to culinary school, we're very much based, the foundation is very much based on French cuisines, which uses artful techniques, but then very minimal flavors. So that's what Chef Jan does. I mean, he's in France, which is my favorite country, and but he's doing a South African menu with South African flavors, and I look up to that.
Beautiful. So are you saying you're going to France?
Definitely.
That's my girl. That's my girl. But before you go to France, let's jump into the kitchen because I wanna taste the vol au vent.
Of course, let's go for it.
Oh, come on. I told you, we don't just love her just because she's cooking for us today, but also because she is such a dynamic chef, one that is so masterful at what she does. And this is why we love her work. My beautiful Expresso Show family, trust me, you're going to want to stick around for all of it and more because it is all happening right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we're going to be making sure that you're entertained all the way until 9 a.m. So trust me, going anywhere, you're wasting your own time. We're going to be cooking up a dish and so much more. Don't go anywhere.
Join us and me, Sipho Alfie, Mr. Spice, on Color Your Plate with Coup.
As we take our taste buds to the street, because this week it's all about street food.
I can almost smell the tension in there.
I'm feeling very nervous. I'm ready to take it on. Watch out.
I think someone is tampering with their time.
Who are you accusing?
Time waits for no one.
Yeah.
That's Color Your Plate with Coup, Tuesdays at 7 p.m, repeats Wednesdays at 1 p.m, and Sundays at 4 p.m, only on SABC2.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And Tuesday officially is feeling like a Health Tuesday. So let's bring that to the forefront of conversation because we all know how important it is to maintain a healthy balance in our bodies, and especially when it comes to our diet and digestion. But did you know that an overly acidic diet can lead to issues like heartburn, indigestion, and even discomfort after meals? Now, this might be ringing a bell for some of you. So pay attention because joining us this morning is registered dietitian Kim Hoffman, who's here to talk to to us about the benefits of alkalizing the body and how citrus soda can help keep things in balance. Kim, how are we doing this morning?
Very good, thank you, Ral, and you?
Yeah, very, very good. And dying to kind of debunk what's really going on here with regards to alkalizing the body and alkaline diet. Is that an important thing? Can we actually do that? Can we alkalize our body?
So let's just talk about the concept of alkalizing the body. It centers around the idea that certain foods and lifestyle choices can actually influence the balance of the pH of the body.
Okay.
And moving it towards a more alkaline state is better and leads to health.
Okay. And obviously it's important to then get this, but I'd imagine that not all of us can consume maybe foods that are very alkaline rich. How do we combat this issue? Is there an option? Because let's be honest, it's easier said than done.
Easier said than done, and the amount of foods that we have available to us, we are going to be eating foods that drive acidity.
Okay.
So this is where antacids do come into place and where they can help. So gastric antacids, what they do is they neutralize the stomach acids, and they help when there's minor stomach issues like the heartburn and the indigestion. And but antacids don't replace a healthy diet. They're just that temporary relief when you've had something that isn't ideal for your body.
Or maybe you've had like a lot of acidic foods that's possibly caused this effect?
Well, it's also, if you have heartburn and indigestion, there are things that have started going wrong with your system. So it's not only if you eat a food that drives acidity, it's certain people will suffer with this more so than others.
Got you.
But I think it is also important for me to say that antacids do only work on your stomach acidity and your urine pH, not on your blood pH. So when we're talking about alkalizing the body, we're actually talking about the blood pH.
Of course.
So your antacids don't really work for that. They help to temporary relief when you've got that heartburn.
Okay, and then temporary relief as well if we are in a situation where we've maybe put the body under a lot of strain because there's a system at place that's creating this acidity and adjusting the pHs within our body. I think a lot of people listening right now, understanding the importance of this, would want to incorporate maybe more foods into their diet that have more alkalinity. Do you have any ideas or suggestions on what we could incorporate that will allow us to tick that box?
Yeah, just want to mention before we go into that this concept of alkalizing the body is a little bit misleading because our bodies actually do this all the time on their own. We've got high, powerful functions. The lungs and the kidneys are constantly making sure that the pH balance is correct so that the body can work properly. But we can assist this process.
Yes.
And this is where the proponents of the alkaline diet do come in. So when we eat foods that drive more acidity, that's things like red meat, highly processed foods, sugary drinks, then we unbalance the body and we can potentially have more illness. But when we eat more alkaline foods or foods that drive the alkalinity, and that's your vegetables, your fruits, your nuts and seeds, and of course water. Don't forget fluid. So it's the antioxidants and it's the fluid intake that help the body to rebalance itself and improve the health.
I like that. So, I mean, fruit and veg, water, those are
not difficult.
Easily accessible.
And I often say to clients, if there's one thing that I want you to do is just try and get more vegetables into your diet. We don't eat enough vegetables.
We don't, and we have such an incredible variety and option of that right here in South Africa.
True, very
what
true.
What are we waiting for? Now, I think that in many things in life, it's all about balance, right? And I think that there are many people that might be struggling or suffering with some of these issues, heartburn that you mentioned, discomfort, indigestion. What are some of the ways that what are the advice that you can have that we can really help these people? Because people need our assistance right now.
Yes, heartburn and indigestion is quite common.
It's common,
yeah. So there's 6 things we can do. So first of all, we need to take out the trigger foods. Trigger foods, the 4 are your spicy foods, your fatty foods, your caffeine, and your alcohol. There are
going to be like, no,
that's why it's hard. That's why we do have a bit of help. But there are also other foods that can drive it, and sometimes it's good just to keep a log and to see because it can be slightly individualized. But those are the 4 main ones. The second thing is don't eat large portions. When we eat large portions, we put so much pressure on the stomach that Acid starts moving into the esophagus, and that causes strain and the problem. So smaller meals more regularly in the day. Then we don't lie down straight after eating. Okay, again, that horizontal position drives that acid into the wrong direction.
Lunchtime and a nap straight afterwards?
If you do need to, just make sure your head is propped up nicely.
Okay.
Then we do want to maintain our weight. When we carry more weight, we have more fat around our organs. And that again puts that pressure on them and can drive that acid in the wrong direction. Clothes can make a difference.
Sure.
Wearing tight clothes can really make you feel uncomfortable. And if you think about also pregnant women, that pregnancy is pushing on the stomach. Heartburn is much more common in pregnancy. And then the last thing, smoking. Smoking really weakens that esophageal sphincter that's holding the gas in, or supposed to hold that acid in the stomach. So stopping smoking really is beneficial.
It's crazy how these can actually compromise our system. And on the flip side of it, there's actually such an incredible amount of effort, help, and with you being here, you've given us all that guidance. So thank you so much, Kim, for coming through.
Pleasure.
And I think for you, Mzansi, as well, I want to not only thank Kim, but also remind you that what we've learned today is something valuable. So if you are looking for a quick and effective way to alkalize your body, ease digestive discomfort, and just maintain that important balance that we've been talking about, then maybe you want to grab yourself a citro soda. And on top of this, you can also win 5,000 Rand in cash this week. So if hydration can help with heartburn, how many glasses of water do you drink a day? Well, you can tell us and use the hashtag citro soda in your entry. And that's the question you need to answer to get involved in this competition. A reminder that this comp closes on Monday, the 7th of April. So you've got this week to get involved. Closes at midnight, the 7th of April. And don't forget, T's and C's to apply. I feel like I'm informed, I've been educated, and there's every reason for you, Mzansi, to get involved in this one. Thank you, Kim.
Pleasure.
If heartburn, indigestion, or UTIs are slowing you down, well, Citro Soda is here to bring you relief and a chance to win 5,000 Rand every week right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Oh, and entering is easy. Simply head over to Expresso's Facebook, X, or Instagram and answer the weekly question and include that hashtag Citro Soda in your answer.
Yeah, and don't let the burn hold you back. Enter now, and you could be our next big winner. T's and C's apply.
It's already been such a beautiful morning, and this is why, my friend, I always tell you, gotta stick around, huh? Right now, we need to get on into this wonderful thing that's about to happen in the kitchen. Yes, it's cooking with Letu from Color Your Plate with Coup, and we got to know a little bit more about her earlier on, and we heard that she wants to go and cook in France. She wants to be with the French, right? And this is why today we're getting to know about what this dish is that she's gonna be making, which is a garden pea vol au vent. Thank you very much. She said that my pronunciation is right. And my Letu, this looks right. Everything just looks good. Already I'm excited just to taste it. But I need to ask you, what is vol au vent?
Okay.
As much as I know how to say it, I don't know what it is.
So obviously it's French. The very straight meaning of it is flights in the wind, and it's because of how light it is.
Oh.
Yes. So it's basically like a pastry case.
I love that.
Yeah, so it's usually filled with any fillings, either savory or sweet.
Beautiful. Well, let's get started, my Letu. Tell us, where do we start? How are we going about making this vol au vent?
Okay, so the dish we're making today is a twist on, it's both French and South African, because we're using the beautiful South African Coup peas.
Love that.
So, starting with our case.
Yes.
So we've already cut out our pastry dough.
Yeah.
So this is like, this will be the base. And then this will be the top. But then if you put it together, then it's going to come together. And that's because of the butter that's in the dough.
Okay. And do I mush it on the ends? Like, do I mush it together?
The way that I'm doing. And then after, we're going to brush it with egg wash, just to give it a little bit of shine as it is here. So when you put it together here, then this is a mistake that a lot of people do. They tend to put the egg before they close it, they seal it here. So when then it bakes, then it opens. So the egg is actually brush it after and around, not on the edges.
But you can't blame the Zaneles of the world for getting that wrong. You know what I mean? It's an easy mistake to make. I step into the kitchen once a year, Letu, so, you know.
I mean...
Yeah. Oh, apparently you can't blame us. Sorry, Letu. I apologize. I feel like we have hurt your feelings. But Letu, talk to us about the vol au vent, which is the pastry, of course. Are you able to prepare it, you know, before the time in which you would be putting in your fillings and everything? Can they be prepared rather like the night before and whatnot?
It can, but I mean, as chefs, normally we like our things fresh, right?
Okay.
What I would advise, if you wanna prepare it, maybe you can prepare it before time and freeze it, like the way it's shaped like this. You can prepare it like this, freeze it, and then you can just bake it. Doesn't take that much time to bake. Bake it and then fill it as you go.
Okay. Okay, while you tell us what's going on, I have been given jurisdiction to taste the other side before we even finish. Letu, are you okay with that? Is that etiquette in the kitchen? Can I do so?
I mean, just today.
Just today.
And just because it's you.
Thank you, Letu. I knew you loved me. Okay. So I'm gonna taste what's going on here. I will say this. It smells amazing. It smells really good. What I also love about it is that it's a vegetarian dish, and I'm eating vegetarian at the moment. So you know this is exciting. I'm gonna grab this one. Here we go. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take a bite. Okay.
Bon appetit.
Ah.
You like it? Beautiful.
Yes. And can I tell you, I'm not the biggest fan of peas, but I really, really like the tastes that are happening there. Let me help you out a little bit later, just because I can.
Thank you very
really
much.
Nice. Wait, so is this a dish that you came up with on your own?
Something like that. So, I mean, as I said, that I like adding South African flavors to French techniques. So the technique obviously is French.
Yes.
But then the filling and everything, I literally just did last minute, even on Coup, like on the competition.
Hectic, babe. Hectic.
I mean, in kitchen, we improvise.
Yes.
We didn't have enough time, obviously. But yeah, it's one of my creations, and I'm looking forward even to innovate it even more.
I love that. And so now where would we be going from here? What exactly is going to be happening? Because I'm seeing a blender cup. I'm seeing all of these ingredients. What exactly is it? It's salt, it's pepper, and what else?
Okay. So once our pastry is done, it goes in the oven, right? So once that is in the oven, then we'll get started with the cream, with the garden peas. So everything it's very easy, trust me. Everything, literally, you just pour everything inside. The peas, you just have to discard the water.
Yes.
Yes, and then you add in your cream, you add in your basil and the mint. So
beautiful.
Mint and peas actually is a match made in heaven. It goes really nice. Then we've got our salt and pepper just to season and to taste.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Well, my lady, you and I are going to continue this because I need more of this because I know I'm going to fight with the crew over it because it tastes so good. And I will also say this. I love the fact that your approach to cooking is so different. The fact that you always are really wanting to just infuse, you know, that French side of life. So well done, my babe.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
I love it. I think it's so good. And like I said, I'm not the biggest peas fan, but I am somebody who is a fan of this. So thank you so much, Mama.
Thank you very much.
Her name is Letu. She is one of the chefs from Color Your Plate with Coup. And my friend, as you can tell, she's going to go very, very far. Someone who is genuinely shaking things up in the kitchen, which we love to see on your Feel Good Breakfast show. And if you want to shake things up in the kitchen, sort of make yourself a little bit of vol au vent in your house, lovely thing is the recipe is on expressoshow.com, and that is where you can check it out and a whole lot more. But in terms of Color Your Plate with Coup, you know it's always a good time.
Join us and me, Sipho Alfie, Mr. Spice, on Color Your Plate with Coup.
As we take our taste buds to the street, because this week it's all about street food.
I can almost smell the tension in there.
I'm feeling very nervous.
I'm ready to take it on.
Watch out.
I think someone is tampering with their time.
Who are you accusing?
Time waits for no one.
Yeah.
That's Color Your Plate with Coup, Tuesdays at 7 p.m., repeats Wednesdays at 1 p.m. and Sundays at 4 p.m. Only on SABC 2.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome back. It's your feel-good breakfast show. We just got less than an hour of magic to give to you, and it's gone 3 minutes past the hour. So for many of you heading out on work, don't forget the hour, and don't forget the fact that we are about to give you the last round of official headlines. So let's kick it off, and starting with the national headlines first. Environment Minister Dion George has approved exemptions for 8 Eskom coal-fired power stations, allowing them to operate despite failing to meet emission standards. Now, Duva and Matla can run until 2034, while Kendall, Letabo, Majuba, Medupi, Matimba and Tutuka have exemptions until 2030. Now, the decision aimed at ensuring energy stability comes with strict conditions, including real-time emissions monitoring, community health screenings and green initiatives. Now, Eskom must also deploy air quality monitoring stations within 8 months and publish emissions data immediately. Well, next up in national headlines, the anti-tax abuse group known as OUTA has called on Transport Minister Barbara Creecy, and that's to address 3 pressing concerns for motorists. Now, OUTA wants an extension of driving license validity to cut costs and red tape, arguing that global research supports the move. Now, the organization also demands clarity on South Africa's only driver's license card printer, which frequently breaks down and is currently out of service. Now, OUTA CEO Wayne Duvenacher further raised concerns over the controversial Edemia tender for a new printer, which was flagged for irregularities by the Auditor General. Well, from national headlines, we move to international news, and Niger has withdrawn from the multinational Joint Task Force, which is an international effort fighting Islamist militants in the Lake Chad region. Now, the force, which includes troops from Nigeria, Chad and Cameroon, has struggled with poor coordination, allowing insurgent groups like Boko Haram and Islamic State in West Africa to thrive. Now, Niger's military government says it's prioritizing security around key oil assets as attacks on energy infrastructure increases. And the country has grown increasingly isolated since a coup ousted President Mohamed Bazoum in 2023. Now, next up, over 2,000 people have died in Myanmar following a devastating earthquake and prompting a week of national mourning. Now, the UN launched an $8 million appeal warning of a worsening humanitarian crisis with hospitals damaged and overwhelmed. Now, rescue teams continue to search for survivors, including 74 workers trapped in a collapsed high-rise. Now, in Thailand, at least 20 died and thousands were evacuated. And footage from China shows nurses shielding newborns as tremors struck, all escaping unhurt. On top of this, aid efforts face challenges due to Myanmar's ongoing conflict, worsening the humanitarian crisis. Well, our thoughts definitely go out to all those struggling in this situation right now, but maybe we can turn these headlines into a bit of an inspirational note, and especially as we bring it to our stores and our doors at the Heidelberg Giant Pumpkin Festival. Now, this was held in the past weekend, and the spotlight fell on Piet Lotz, who is a reed farmer from Blombos in Jongensfontein. And this man shattered the South African and Southern Hemisphere record with his colossal 1,120 kilogram pumpkin. Yes, you heard correctly. Now, Lotz is a dedicated member of the Growers Association and isn't just about winning. He's the heart of the pumpkin growing community. And his patch visits have helped countless growers refine their techniques, and his carefully crafted feeding program, which has transformed the competition. Now, having broken the SA record in 2018, he was overjoyed to reclaim the title. And now, with his eyes set on the world record, Lotz is determined to prove that no dream is too big, even for a pumpkin. Well, you push on, my pumpkin, and we carry on the rest of the headlines and just G-Man with the latest when it comes to all things sport.
Oh, thank you, Pumpkin. Right back at you. Let's start with cricket. And, well, now that Cinderella's got her ride sorted, let's do a Cinderella moment for debutant Ashwani Kumar. A stunning 4 for 24, helping the Mumbai Indians crush the Kolkata Knight Riders by 8 wickets yesterday, securing their first IPL win of the season. So KKR were bundled out for 116 before Mumbai chased it down just under 13 overs. And in the process, Ashwani becoming the first Indian to take 4 wickets on his IPL debut, sealing a commanding victory at Wakere Stadium just when they needed it. Now, we need the wins in our Blitzbox camp, and David Brits aims to bring energy and impact as he joins the Blitzbox for their HSBC Sevens in Singapore. So he and Sebastian Job replaced the injured Kieran Norkia and Gino Cupido. That was after South Africa's disappointing ninth place finish in Hong Kong. So the Blitzboks have a tough ask, though. They've got Great Britain and our Hong Kong champions, Argentina, in a condensed format where only the pool winners advance to the semi-finals. Going to be an interesting one to watch. The pressure is on. Now, speaking of pressure, let's turn to the 15-man game as UFS Shimla secured the final Varsity Cup semi-final spot. That was with a crucial bonus point win over Tuks in Pretoria. So Marties, they topped the log after defeating Wits, who are relegated to Varsity Shield this year. Then UCT's Ikes, they edged out UJ to finish third, setting up a semi-final against Tuks for them. And then UJ, they're in seventh. That means they face a promotion relegation playoff up against the Madibas on the 5th of May. Now, finally, on to football. Man City's season, it gets tougher. Their top scorer, Erling Haaland, faces now a lengthy spell on the sidelines after suffering an ankle injury in their 2-1 FA Cup quarter-final win over Bournemouth. The 24-year-old, who netted his 50th goal of the season before that injury, has no confirmed return date as yet. And they can certainly use him this week. City currently 5th in the Premier League standings. They face Leicester and their good old foes, Man United, this week. So we'll certainly watch that space, as I always say, but that's where we leave our sport for this morning. If you're about to head off to work, let's catch up on the roads.
The lovely thing about 8 a.m. is the fact that things are cooling down on the roads, which is why the only noteworthy thing that you need to know is in Gauteng, Bedfordview, traffic is slow moving along the N3 highway. Motorists are using the affected route, and it is advised to maintain a safe following distance, please, and make sure that you arrive alive. We'll keep you up to date with anything else, but for now, let's update you with the weather. The South African Weather Service has issued a yellow level 2 warning for severe thunderstorms across parts of KZN, Northwest and Free State, with damaging winds, excessive lightning, hail, as well as heavy downpours expected. A yellow level 1 warning is in place for Northern Eastern Cape, also predicting severe thunderstorms. Meanwhile, Magalies Water is finalizing a master plan for water supply and sanitation in Northwest, focusing on expanding access to previously underserved areas. A spokesperson for Magalies Water, David Magai, said it was essential to ensure that water is accessible for all. And I told you earlier on, we're big fans of that, so a very big shout out to them. Right now, let's jump on into one of my favorite parts of the show. It is your sunrise view. And I do want to say, I truly believe that the sunrise views that have come through this morning, they're going into my Sunrise View Hall of Fame, because these are stunning. My goodness, shout out to Candace from Middleburg, where it is 26 degrees Celsius today. This is out of this world. Candace, I don't even know where you took this from. It looks like you were inside the house on a balcony and you're just able to see just this whole beautiful view, and the sun just absolutely came out and shone so beautifully. Thank you so much, Candace. This definitely put a smile on my face, and I hope it did as well for you, Mzansi. It is always our favorite thing to do to find out what's happening on your side on 063-408-8863. Right now, what is going to be happening on your side are these temperatures right here.
All right, a beautiful day like this needs a little bit of winning, I think.
Yes.
And Mzansi, if you are ready, Powerball is waiting. There is a life-changing jackpot sitting at 90 million rand today. 90 million, come on, and you could win all of it just for you. So what are you waiting for? You've got to play, man. Come on.
You have to play. This is a lot of millions. And you can do it by buying your tickets now in store. You've got the nationallottery.co.za website. There's the mobile app. You can use cell phone banking, or you can simply dial star 120 star 7529 hash and then follow the USSDs. It's that simple.
And now please stop asking them for the winning numbers. We'll keep the voting or the details up on how you can enter, but we can't give you the winning details. But you can go to our social media pages, get all of those details, and make sure that you push up, play your Powerball for that estimated 90 million rand today. Good luck.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of good stuff that we can look forward to. And speaking of good stuff, we've still got a good few minutes on your Feel Good Breakfast show, and that means that we get entertainment and good conversation. When it comes to entertainment, yes, please, we're going to manifest that, bring it to our shores with our international artists with the second performance of the day. Can't wait for that one with the new music coming up.
I love that. And we call this the manifestation station. So Manifest is going to find a home right here. And then we're going to delve into something that I cannot wait to broach, but I'm a little bit nervous. We're talking online bullying. It is emerging in so many new shapes and forms. We need to be updated and I think understand how we can mitigate the fallout. And we'll get into that conversation in a moment.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Yep, and it's just the two of us. No, thankfully, it's not just the two of us. We are bringing in an amazing panel to discuss, and you can hear how nervous I am, online bullying in South Africa. It's global, but here in our country, it's a widespread problem that affects people of all ages, from teenagers to adults, so with especially damaging consequences for women. And I think the scary part is how quickly that damage can be done. In fact, according to UNICEF, South Africa, and this was recorded in 2023, about 1 in 5 teenagers experience cyberbullying, and SADAG's 2024 findings indicate that nearly 46% of South African adults have encountered online harassment. Wow.
This is crazy, and this is why we brought in such an incredible panel. So starting with our 1,000 Women's Advocacy, which highlights that is a significant number. Firstly, it's highlighting women who suffer from persistent digital abuse and things that undermine their self-esteem. So here's a perspective from our very own Carissa on bullying. Let's check it out.
Also, y'all, now that I've got you here, why must it always be a woman? Like, why must it always be one of the girlies coming after the girlies? Oh, she's too big. She's taking up too much space. Oh, her nose ring. Oh, her skin. Oh, her outfit. Oh, the way she talks. Oh, she's too much. She's too loud. Like, I get it, projection and security. Like, I understand the narrative, the psychology. But why must it always be the girlies? It's just reeking mean girl energy. Like, you'll need to do some introspection. You'll need to be like Milan and look at your reflection in the water, you know? Because it's not cute no more. And now you are 60-plus-year-old woman coming with this cattishness, cattiness. You know what I mean? Nah. Also, the gag is, I love myself.
I suppose shame on you, we can say, to whoever that was. I'm now desperately wanting to get to Carissa's timeline and have a look. But to answer these questions today, we are joined by Natalie Chisikana, a 1,000-woman GBV warrior and anti-bullying advocate, and Daniela Mayer, a family therapist, to explore what drives this targeted hostility and how we can better support those affected. For me, it's definitely my kids. So what, basically all men are sleazy and women are mean. That's how we would judge our species if we had to go online, pretty much.
I mean, humans are horrible. Think about it. What separates us from the animals is our ability to make conscious decisions. And the fact that we use that ability, that choice to bash other people down just so that we can feel better about ourselves is actually really quite pathetic.
Yeah.
It is, and I mean, Natalie, I'm listening to and looking at these stats. We're speaking about 1 in 5 teenagers facing cyberbullying. Almost 50% of adults in our country have experienced this in some way or form. What's the underlying factors? What is the reason why we are still living in this world where we feel there's some necessity to bring somebody else down, which has no impact on us whatsoever?
What do we get from it? Yeah.
Why?
I mean, there are many factors that are contributing to this cyberbullying, whether bullying is happening in person or whether online. Some of the things that factors these things are stereotypes, stereotypes, wanting to fit in, jealousy, hate, lack of self-love. Like when you come online and you are happy, you are dancing, yet I am here, I'm traumatized, I'm stressed, I'm frustrated.
Yeah.
So when I see you happy, I come online, I take that frustration on you instead of getting the help that I actually need. So those are some of the factors that actually fuel this cyberbullying.
I think it's an easy out. Yes. I think it's an easy way just to get your rocks off. It's like hooting at someone in traffic.
I mean,
it's fine.
I mean, you're all behind the screen. Like, most of your haters would never say what they say in front of you. So
you'd be surprised, girl. I might have that kind of face. I don't know. No, but there is something in that. The anonymity is a shield. I feel like I want to push back immediately. So I want to start thinking about what we do within ourselves and in particular to help others. So maybe, Daniel, you can start with that. When we foster that self-care, that self-love, whatever that needs to be called, confidence, resilience, whatever that thing is, what difference does it make in these situations?
Well, I mean, self-love and self-confidence and self-esteem and self, everything positive is what we're all after and what we're chasing. It's not something that is natural within all of us because, especially now with this online era, everything is just automatically competition. So you look at a friend who was at school with you and they've posted a picture driving their new Porsche out the dealership. You automatically think, how did they do that? Why haven't I done that? Judgment. We judge ourselves so harshly. What we're supposed to do is understand that everybody has their own journey. And wherever you are, you're still going to get there. You know, we all take our own time and we all are on our own paths. For all we know, because of the online era and how we just get little snippets of everybody's life, is we don't know if maybe this was somebody who a loved one had passed away and left their money, let's say. We wouldn't want that life.
Yeah, they've lost a child and you don't know. You just don't know
anything. So the point is really, and I think that it starts young. It starts, I'd even say it starts from birth. I mean, the way I raised my children was confidence. You are the best. You can do anything that you want to do. You can do anything you can set your mind to. You know, the sky's the limit. We need to start teaching our children the internal resilience and to not be so affected by what other people think of you.
And I would imagine that starts with how we work with the social media space, how 100%. We work with our devices, how we exemplify that absolute notion.
Yeah, and it's not just youngsters that are working with these devices, but adults too. I mean, yes, we're focusing on the teenagers, but also when we look at the landscape in general, these are adults that are now learning about these online systems and experiencing this form of bullying for the first time, right? What do we do in this situation? Because maybe, and this might be contentious, but maybe kids are now used to this and they expect it. All the adults jumping on the space right now, they're like, what's going on?
We're too soft, man.
I thought I believed in myself, but this external negative validation is crazy. What does one do in this situation? Are there systems or support systems out there that can validate what's actually right and allow me to not take this into account?
Yes, definitely working on yourself, prioritize that. Like, for example, the 1,000 Women, they offer anti-bullying courses that are free. They enter trauma courses that are free. So if you do feel like you do lack self-love, self-confidence, try to get the help that you need. The problem in our society is that we feel ashamed. Oh, don't talk to a therapist. You're gossiping. You're doing that. So we need to have an environment where people actually feel free to get the help that they need without us judging them. And like you said, awareness. We need to educate our kids like I do. I go to schools without a sponsor, out of my pocket. I go to schools and I speak to learners about bullying, whether it's online, in person, at schools, in the park, just doing your bit. Like, let's not wait for someone to come and educate your child. You too, you
Take
can
that on
do that.
yourself.
Take control of your child, of your house. It starts with you. Don't wait for someone else to do that.
I love it, because you can't control the internet. You can't control any of the things that are external, but your relationship with your child, that is in your hands. I would recommend as a first step, because I had a massive stigma and a wall built up towards therapy or anything. I thought I was too crazy for anyone to be able to understand what goes on in my head. But just making a call to SADAG, to the South African Depression and Anxiety Group, getting someone neutral to listen to me, let me just pour it out. They had no judgment. They weren't invested in my world at all. They had no idea who I was one of the biggest shifts I have ever had and probably saved me mentally. So if nothing else, reach out for SADAG and definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned, because this conversation will continue from highlighting what's important to actioning some strategies that can empower our victims and encourage bystanders to take a stand against online bullying. That's coming next in just a bit, but hopefully for now, we can entertain you.
That is our job, and this is why we love to do it so much. And I just want to say, Graham, thank you so much for sharing that story. It's so important. But something else that's important is us putting a smile on that beautiful face of yours, Expresso Show family. And this morning, we're still hanging out with Manifest, the Accra-born superstar that is taking over the world. And sir, speaking of taking over the world, you're heading off to London soon.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
I'll be having a show May 21st. It'll be my first New Road and Guava Tree show international.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I can't wait. Yeah. So.
How are you feeling about it? Are you a bit nervous?
No, it feels good. I mean, it's lovely performing new material. Hopefully I can bring some of my guests, even some of the South African ones on it. Well, these South African ones. Maybe I'll holler at MC. Shout out to you, Aries.
I love that. And talk to me about that a little bit, because I mean, you've spent some time in South Africa. Are there any other people we're going to see you maybe collaborate with soon enough?
It's possible, very possible. There's so many amazing artists here, so we'll see how far.
And has the sound impacted you at all?
Yeah, I mean, South African sound is definitely having a big moment in the world.
Yeah.
So, and the rest of Africa too, in Ghana. piano is all over.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming through today, Manifest, and thank you for entertaining us.
For sure. Absolutely.
Zanzi, the time has come. Manifest is about to give you one of his beautiful songs off of his new album, and listen properly. You're about to be entertained indeed. It is none other than I Read by Manifest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, boys they hung on the streets, them no get nothing to eat. Decency is deceased. Wanna pick me marry 10 car motorcade. You said you no get moto. 20 cars coco. Yeah, they drive me photo. They sending me, I they go loco. Don't be the streets for the Osu, the where boys they try find do. Blue container for the pink, purple pop for the blues. Matrix with them wedding, red pill or the blue. Half it paint the town red. I read they already everywhere. Half it paint the town red, my body. I read they already, mix steady. Ajay. Something wild in the streets, bro. Ajay. I read. Ajay. Something wild in the streets, bro. Ajay. I read. 24/7 boys they roll. They are not smiling, stay on code. Belly of the beast, nobody named Joe. Trouble, noble, plenty day. Switch addresses where to stay. Can't survive on minimum wage. Or they are glad away. Dima Marina, Shaman X and go stick to the Shama. Uni Capre, Uni Dama, Haigosana. Half it paint the town red. I read they already everywhere. Half it paint the town red, my body. I read they already, mix steady. Ajay. Something wild in the streets, bro. Ajay. I read my I read. Ajay. From across the Joes. Something wild in the streets, bro. In the streets. Ajay. I read my I read. Thank you.
That's right. Okay, superstar. This guy right here, I told you, Accra born, but he's taking over the world. And friend, we are still continuing to hang out with him. It's Manifest. And listen to this. We still have so much to get into before we wrap things up at 9 o'clock. And one of those things is us getting to know, have you been a victim of online bullying, my friend? We want to hear on 063-408-8863. And I'm so sorry if you have, but this is where we have conversations that could possibly help you out if you have been someone who has been a victim. And even you sharing your story is something that could help someone else. 063-408-8863. Let us know, have you been a victim of online bullying? For now, we're going to take a short break, but we'll be back after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh yes, Mzansi, welcome back. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And yeah, Tuesday is bringing through the health vibes, especially when we have this conversation. If you weren't around earlier, we were talking about online bullying, and we're going to turn our awareness into action right now because the emotional toll of online bullying is profound. Now, here's something interesting. SADC's 2024 research links digital harassment to severe mental health outcomes, and organizations such as 1000 Women underscoring the urgent need for intervention among women. And our discussion is going to turn now to how we can empower victims, creating robust reporting systems and hopefully foster a culture of respect online. And that's exactly what we're going to start off with right now.
I love it. And thank you so much to you guys at home. We've got Daniela and Natalie joining us now, who have they've racked up hundreds, thousands of hours in this space. So they really can give us insight. And I'd like their take on this. We got from Anonymous, a beautiful account. I'm going to give it to you now. I am a 50 plus male, and I find that my bullying and abuse as a child has been transferred to my adulthood. People either comment about my looks as a large man or bully me on social media instead of to my face. One would have thought that the older we get, that the bullying would disappear. This is such a lie, as it continues no matter what. This has caused major damage in my life. As an adult, I do not trust people easily as a result of this, and have now resorted to a lonely life, except for Expresso, of course. Yes, I'm about to bawl my eyes out. I've been running an anxiety and depression group on WhatsApp since 2019. Well done. Just to be there for those who need to chat. So many people join with huge lessons, and that's from Anonymous, calling himself Lee. So I'm going to just say I love you, Lee, and thank you so much for opening up. I don't know, Danielle, do you want to weigh in first?
I just want to firstly thank you, because what you've just said now, whoever you are, is you have taken a terrible experience and you've decided to actually do something about it. And how many of us do that? So to the people that you have helped with this online support group, thank you, because that is more than most people would do. What I would like to say is that it's very easy for me to say that we are the ones that allow people to treat us that way. But if we delve into it a little bit, when you're a child in your formative years, and you're impressionable, and you're trying to find your place in the world, and you get whacked with bullying.
That matrix is formed around you.
It's formed around you. This is how you're growing up, in this cesspool of negative reinforcement, of negative comments, of you're not good enough, of constantly being bashed down. How do you actually recover from that? I mean, this is the message that you're being given your whole life, is you're not good enough. Now you turn 30, 40, 50, and it must go away. It doesn't work like that. It takes so much effort, so much work, and so much support to actually make that change for yourself, to reprogram your mind, you know, in the way that you view yourself, and build that internal resilience so that when you have recovered from that, if you ever really do, then when somebody starts with you, to have the power to say, I know who I am. I am good enough. I'm good enough for myself, certainly, and it starts there. I'm good enough for the people who love me. If I'm not good enough for you, who the heck are you?
Yeah.
You know?
Write them out of your reality.
Matter,
yeah.
You know? And it's so difficult to do that, though.
I know we are grossly oversimplifying very complex situations, and I always feel awful putting you guys in that position because every person is exactly different like that. Why? Why? I know we're asking a lot of these why questions, but why do we bully? What is it? And especially then the exponential increase of that online, where we've got that added anonymity. Why? What enjoyment do we get out of it? What fulfillment do we get out of cutting other people down?
Yes, definitely. There are a lot of answers to explain that, but what I've encountered, especially with kids, is that they've been abused. So there's a lot of trauma, and they don't deal with that trauma. So something might happen in their homes, and then they just wake up, they are forced to go to school. No one is dealing with that trauma. So when they grow up, they still have that trauma. And then when someone is happy, when they are living this fairy tale that they would want, they are easily triggered. So that's why now I'm going to troll your happiness so that you can be in this negativity that I am in. So
just to make everything okay.
Yes, it's basically trauma, abuse. So that's why we always encourage students, if there is abuse at home, to ask for help. Speak to the teacher, tell someone to ask for help. Again, we cannot help if we don't know what's going on.
And this makes the circle of friends also important, because very often I had a single parent home where I relied on my mates being my kind of litmus test to be like, dude, is everything okay? Something's not right. Like if you're a friend or a family member and you see something isn't right, act on that.
Absolutely. I think we need to 100% normalize speaking up. We have to normalize the fact that this is not okay. And I always tell my son, I don't care if you think you're a tattletale. If something doesn't feel right to you, go and tell someone. You know, you can't just let things like this happen. But I think what is so important also is to understand that anonymity is so powerful, because what people hate more than anything on the planet is accountability. People don't want to be accountable, and they feel that if I can sit here with you and I'm like, oh, you're so pretty, you're so clever, you're so whatever, and then I see you online, I can say, you know what, you have no idea what you're talking about, and I can block you. I'm not accountable for that, you know? And misery loves company.
Oh, yeah.
No, but the ego is the most destructive thing if mishandled, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So why the heck should I sit here miserable and uncomfortable and whatever and watch somebody that, I don't know, never met, live the life I want to? That's not fair. So you know what? I'm going to make sure that she suffers, because it's not fair.
You know what it is? Ego's like a McLaren F1. You know, if you drive it properly, best day of your life. You drive it badly, as we've all seen in South Africa. Things can go horribly, horribly wrong. One resource that people can connect with, I don't need a long answer, just one place where people can go if they need help right now.
Definitely 1,000 Women. There's a lot of help there. There's trauma counseling. There's anti-bullying women courses for people. So definitely 1,000 Women. Go there, go online, get the help that you need.
Proven success.
Proven evidence is there.
That's obviously 1000women.co.za for you, Mzansi. If you are facing any of these issues right now, you can definitely get them online, and of course SADC as well. We put these details up for you right now, so if you are seeking any information, any advice or any help, then we don't just have this panel here to assist you right now, but this goes further and deeper, and this is something that we need to constantly dealing with this. Danielle, I feel like you always have sage words of wisdom to leave us with. What's your mic drop moment?
There is one mic drop that I want to say, is that we often say that bullying and all of this, when related to children, is the fault of the parents. I'd like to give a message to all the parents of South Africa and say, you know what, it's actually in this instance, not entirely your fault. We lead by example. We learn from example. We parent our children. The way we parent our children is completely based on how we were parented, how we don't want to parent, our experience. We are now in an era where online cyberbullying is something we don't have the experience in.
It
didn't affect us. It's new territory. Parents, please, it is your responsibility to understand the lingo, to understand what your children are talking about online, because I don't know if anybody's seen that Netflix release of Adolescence. They don't know. Everything was misinterpreted. My son could go and put a heart emoji, a purple heart. I might say, oh, what a sweet boy. That might be the absolute worst thing ever.
Educate
yourself so that you can keep an eye, and I don't care what your children say to you. I don't care how much they hate you. Make sure you know exactly what they're doing online.
Yes, just to add to what Daniela said, I feel like you have the power when you log into Facebook, when you log into Instagram, you have the power. Block the person. You don't have to read what they're saying.
Block them, yo.
Block. Report the account. Even if they'll open a new account numerous times, you do your part. Block, report, go through their profile before accepting. Like, that's your power, right? You can see who is requesting to be your friend. Go through that, go through them, see that's a good person, a bad person, and so on. So
are they even a person?
Thank you. You know, so you have the power. You have some sort of power. You have some sort of control of what you absorb. So it's all about what you choose to absorb. We're on Instagram because there's someone who gives the best motivation. That's why I'm there every day. So why do you care about what this one person is saying?
Says. I'm going to send people straight to your Instagram account right now. So we're not blaming us as the parents. Can we blame our parents? I think we can. 3 generations of baggage.
It goes all the way back.
I think the bottom line here, Stop judging yourself. Stop judging your relationship with your child. Stop judging the situation. Stop judging and act. Stop thinking about it and do something, and trust your gut, whether it's your friend, whether it's your partner, whether it's your child. There is a reason why we have this intuition. And please, let's continue this conversation online in a healthy and positive way.
It's never too late.
Exactly.
Oh man, these conversations are so important, especially as our kiddies are taking a break from school and possibly just getting to learn a little something that's going to help them cope when they do go back. Right now, I want to remind you as well that we always got your back, parents, which is why in a bit we're going to be getting into some of the tasty treats that you can try out with your kids as they are on holiday. And then also coming up, Manifest is still in the building, and he's going to be doing one last song before he gets on out of here. We're going to take a short break. Don't go anywhere.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I can see the gentlemen are already colluding in the corner there. Welcome back. You're live with your Feel Good Breakfast Show. That's about to get a whole lot more feel good. Why? Because Easter is here. Get ready for a fun, festive and flavor-packed segment. It's time for our Snack Attack segment with our young bakers, Hamish and Jay Lee. Now, they've gone head-to-head many times in baking challenges. There is some beef here, or actually a sweet or two in between it. But today, they're going to whip up something fun and super easy, a no-bake cheesecake. Perfect for Easter and a great way to keep little hands busy during the holidays. Hello, bakers. Can you see how excited I am about having an activity my kids can do over the holidays? Because you drive us crazy over the holidays, okay? Are you guys having a good holiday so far?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that woke you up. He was like, yeah, I'm still on holiday. Wake up, dude. Come on, I'm on holiday. So does this look like something you can do? Jaylee, I know you're very competent in the kitchen. You confident?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Hamish didn't even need a question. He's just yes.
He is that guy, okay? They didn't give you a soapbox to stand on this time, Hamish. Hey, you're just getting too tall now. You've grown up so much. So, guys, this is going to be challenging, all right? Because we're not even going to bake it. It's actually going to be so easy. We're going to just create layers.
No bake.
No bake, bro.
Have you made a cheesecake before, Hamish?
No.
Wow. Well, okay. It's my first as well because I've never made this version. Jaylee, have you made one?
I haven't eaten with some more.
I'm pretty sure the answer to that's yes. Have you eaten one?
No.
What? So this is going to be the first time you make a cheesecake and eat it?
Can I tell you something terrible, guys? That my mom makes no-bake cheesecake, fridge cheesecake, we call it. I've eaten a whole one on my own.
Naughty.
You must know the trouble that I got into. But you can have your own whole one. In fact, you can make 3. So we're going to do cute little bespoke individual outfits. Yeah, but Well, it depends how fast you are. Okay, let's see. So we're going to start our filling. So the first thing we're going to do is make our base. So you're going to take your nicely crunched up biscuits and put them in the bowl.
Okay, Hamish, need some help there.
You can put it all in because we're going to do little layers. So we'll keep our base in there, and then we can move between our ingredients, and then you can put our melted butter in there as well.
Must I mix it with this?
Yes, you can mix it with that.
Do you know what that is, Hamish?
Very good.
Melted butter.
Oh yeah, that's malted butter going in there.
And now you can just
Well,
mix
then
it
I should
all
know what it is.
together so that it's nice and menged up, because then that's going to become the crispy base that we squeeze into the bottom of our glass. How's it going there, Hamish?
This looks good.
It does look good, eh?
Would you just eat this on its own,
It's too
Hamish?
little.
I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. You'll be surprised because remember, there's a bit of moisture here. I think it's going to crisp up nicely.
Without the melted butter, just cookie crumble at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like
you don't
just
lie.
this.
Hamish says without the melted butter, he would just eat it just like this.
Even with,
So
even with the melted butter.
even with, but
But
can
it
you?
You can have a taste if you want.
Can you imagine how much better it's going to be when we add some of the other ingredients to this as well? We still got some fantastic things
We
coming.
need to put these in.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
Guys,
We're going to get there.
You're stopping at the base here. The base is so delicious, we're not even going to get onto the cheesecake. Okay, have a little taste, both of you, please, because you have to. You've got to know what you're cooking with.
There we go.
You've got to make educated choices in the kitchen, hey? Great,
Tastes
okay.
better than it smells.
It tastes better than it smells. And
can't-
that's always
I
what
don't
we
know if you
shoot
guys
for.
saw that, but
That is what we shoot for.
We went
in
for a
this kitchen.
taste. Hamish went for a full-on spoon. He took half the ingredients with him.
I was about to say, well, that's why they
That's
gave
good.
them spoons, okay? Okay, I think this is the perfect consistency. You guys are brilliant. Which color glass would you like to start on, Tilly?
Blue.
Blue.
Blue, it does
Hamish
look nice
and Jaylee
impactful.
going for blue.
I like that. So
there we
now
go.
we really can put you head to head and see who's comes out
Boom,
better.
boom,
No,
boom.
there's no winner. Everyone wins on Easter because there's endless fun. Okay, so now you're going to take a bit of this with the spoon. Okay. Well, I mean, you can do you, boo.
Shall
You
we
do
bring my
whatever
taste
you
tester
want.
spoon
And
Where's the
you can see
taste?
there,
Perfect.
there's like a flat layer across the bottom. So you're going to push some in, and then you're going to push it down. You can even use your fingers if you want to push it down. Everyone's nice and clean.
Hamish,
He's using the power of gravity.
I reckon we get a little bit more in there. What do you say? So we can make sure that line is
good,
visible.
eh? What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
another spoon like that. Yeah,
Just so much
that's good.
stay there.
Yeah, I think that looks great.
Another, yeah.
Okay, so now
Edible
we want
spoon.
another nice layer of our cheesecake, so you can
Those
use your clean
things.
I've got the
spoon.
edible spoon, yeah.
And oh, this looks really, really yummy.
Done.
And dollop. And you can.
Okay. Hamish is done on our side.
We've got our
you already
base
got
in.
the base going.
Yeah, no, we're rocking
So
our cheesecake.
Now we can start stacking this and making some layers, Hamish. So we can do this however we want. We can make a
It's okay, it's
layer
okay.
of our
It all
cream
comes
cheese
out
now,
in the wash.
and then we can
There
keep
we go.
going. After the cream cheese, we can do another layer
Try
of the
not to
crumb.
get. I don't know how to do this, so I'm trying not to get too much, but also trying not to get too little because
I like your technique. I like your
Perfect.
I've
technique.
never baked
Okay,
this,
let's
so I'm
get
trying to
one more nice.
Perfect.
Let's. Okay, don't hit those glasses too hard because you guys
So
are
let me show
both
you.
strong. You know what? I'm feeling a little bit crazy
Some
here.
of that, yeah. Put another
Jaylee,
one
do you
in.
think we could sneak in maybe some Easter eggs even in the middle?
I reckon put some more on
We
that.
could try. We could really try.
Some of these. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, so
Okay.
messy.
just put it in the middle.
There we go.
Hold that up so we can see the cross section. I think
Stealing
the
my
glass,
ideas.
I think that's a perfect layer. Well done. Okay, so we've got our
Put it in
fantasticals,
there.
we've got our speckled eggs, we've got our beautiful
There you go.
little,
So this is good for now.
and then these are giant fantasticals, and they get even
Hamish,
bigger.
Some more, yeah.
I'm planning
some
to
more into
just
that
like
one.
make one layer, one colorful each
Oh,
layer.
very clever. Very, very, very clever.
Get it.
Oh, and this for me, then you're going to have all the beautiful
I
textures
think
in
maybe even
there.
more. Let me help you with this,
No,
though.
I'm gonna start with my
Perfect.
favorite
Try and see if I
color.
can help you get it off here.
All right, so we've got 2 minutes
wait, that
left
was a
to
lot.
finish our creations, eh? So
then
let's,
I'll take a big
and a
one.
big one. I like your style. Very nice.
Hamish, what do you think?
And then that's good.
That's good. Okay.
So now I have a better idea.
Oh,
Ooh,
man, this
tell
is
us
going to be
the
so
idea.
much fun to
What's the
eat.
idea?
I'm just gonna
And one more
steal
purple.
some.
Are you
Okay,
gonna
I'm going to
put
put
it in
just,
or just eat
one
it?
dollop of this on just to
Oh,
hide our...
clever.
So that you actually get a chocolate taste.
Yeah, I think that was very clever.
middle.
And I
Now
like
we're
the
talking.
uniform colours. I think that's very, very clever as well. Okay, so now
How's it looking there, G-Man?
it's magical. It's magical. I'm just turning this
All right.
around.
Hamish has done something smart. I want to show you, Jaylee. Check what Hamish did. So he actually took some of these, our fantastical eggs, the ones that are wrapped. He unwrapped it
And
then
ate it.
put it inside the cream cheese as well. So just make sure when you're eating these that you don't just drink it, because there's a chewing competition happening as well. You can chew it, you can drink it, you can do crazy things. The textures are amazing. Hamish, how's it looking at, bro? You want to put some more in?
Hey, so now,
Nice.
I don't know when your birthday is, Jelly, but how cool would it be for you and your mates at your birthday party to actually make your own desserts for the day? And then everyone can put their own little things in.
Another layer of this.
Okay, flatten it. I know, I love that idea.
I use this one.
Okay.
There's two little. Wait.
We're going for another
There we
layer
go.
on our side as well.
Yes.
Hamish is on the third crumb biscuit layer.
Very good. I'm going to add...
Second. Oh, yeah, you're right. Second.
I know, I'm crazy like that.
This is the
Don't hold back in our kitchen.
Uh-huh. Correcto.
This is the second one of the next color, blue.
Yeah, you're actually
Okay,
right.
now blue. Now you can go crazy. You go crazy. I'm going to
There's more blue than purple, actually. Yes,
I think one more layer, and then after that, I think we put another layer of cream cheese on, and then we can
like
go
this
crazy.
is the best cheesecake that's ever been made.
So you're
Okay.
happy with that layer?
Yeah.
Okay, one more layer of the cream cheese, and then you can go wild.
Come here.
Oh, this is looking beautiful. And in no time
Pop that in there.
at all, we have come up with
get
two
another one.
gorgeous creations. If you want to have some fun this Easter and get the little ones involved, or just do this for
Seems like
yourself,
an
there's no shame
you go.
in sitting on your own,
seems like
making an entire cheesecake and eating it on your own.
crazy.
We are fine with that. Head over to Woolies. You can get some amazing specials in-store, online, using their amazing app. And we want you to embrace Easter with that spirit, okay? Not one fantastical, all fantasticals. And right here, we have the difference between boys and girls. Can we please place that there? Da, da, da. Or maybe just the difference between Jaylee and Hamish.
Wow,
we love you
guys.
guys. You are
Amazing.
creative and ready to eat, hey? Very, very cool. You guys can let us know whose creation you think ticks all of the boxes, but I think we have got Easter sorted. Well done, JD. Well done, Hamish. You did nothing throughout this whole
What do you
segment, man.
mean?
Come
I
on, pull your
guided
weight.
this
Pull your weight. We'll see you after this.
Nicely done.
One fantastic.
Win a Toyota Corolla Cross 1.8 XS Hybrid with Plascon's 2025 Hybridity Color Forecast Competition. Spend 500 Rand or more on any Plascon products. WhatsApp your receipt, name and ID to this number. T's and C's apply.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back very quickly. Change your life. Okay, come on. You've got the opportunity with Powerball to play for a life-changing jackpot of 90 million Rand today. So please, what are you waiting for? Get on that train. Go in-store. You can buy them online. nationallottery.co.za. You can use their mobile app, cell phone banking, or you can just dial *120 *7529# and get you
I got options. And of course, we're going to put all these details on our social media, Expresso media pages, so you can go check it out right now. Panda Pusher Play, the Powerball. There's an estimated 90 million rand in jackpots today, and that means you can win big, but only if you play. So good luck and get involved in that one. Wow,
in fact, can we right now, to make this happen, just manifest, please?
Yes, let's manifest all the winning. I love that. And Mzansi, he's wrapping up the show today. It is Accra-born superstar Manifest. It is with his song Safa. Let's do it!
Okay, can we do that? Whether you're sitting at home, when you see me point, you say Safa. Everybody in the studio, you say what? Okay, it goes like this. Gabi soakings for breakfast, noodles for supper. Gotta eat proper, but my pockets ain't dapper. Junk food, manics, economics is a bluffer. Need to go organic on my health, my... As I grew old, I was told to be tougher. Gotta shoot the 5 to survive, but I'm a rapper. No doubt, if the shots ring out, braka. I ain't going out like a sucker, I'm a... If you got a name like Muhammad or Mustafa, fly might be tougher. My sympathies, brother. But since Towers fell, it's been hell if you other. Like Benjamin Linus, your grind is bound to... Baboon, they chop way, monkey, they suffer. Tension in my inside like Ghana, they play soccer. Success and relatives, jump. Handsome warfare's the issue. No brag go busy. Guy, they suffer. Taxi driver, they suffer. Musician, they suffer. Opposition, they suffer. Immigrant, they suffer. Burger self, they suffer. You've never known joy if you've never had to. Villager, they suffer. Brook rapper, they suffer. Priests know they suffer, but small boys, they suffer. Jesus Christ, I'm so nice, I shouldn't suffer. You've never known joy if you've never had to. You've never known joy if you've never had to. You've never known joy if you've never had to. You've never known joy if you've never had to. I like that, I can hear you out there. Sucks getting caught up in traffic in rush hour. Wish I had magical teleporting power. Late for this interview, my fear's getting louder. My chances of getting this job are gonna... Ghanaian mannerisms like AB, Abba. Got these Yankee folks on their jokes, I'm not bothered. No, nah, the kid is tapper, top shutter. Even Jesus had to. Rhythm kidnapper, known as the X Factor. But you don't hear me though, like lyrics by Waka Flocka. Liberty on lockup, shackles, crippling dreams. Rather speak truth and let the rhyme scheme. These crabs in the barrel, more concerned about our power. Argumentative and talkative, our silence with the gavel. Tribalist, extortionist, greeders were corruptionists. Calmizer, she gon' make you. Coyote, they suffer. Taxi driver, they suffer. Musician, they suffer. Opposition, they suffer. Immigrant, they suffer. Burger self, they suffer. You've never known joy if you've never had to. Villager, they suffer. Brook rapper, they suffer. Priests know they suffer, but small boys, they suffer. Jesus Christ, I'm so nice, shit, they suffer. You've never known joy if you've never had to. You've never known joy if you've never had to. You've never known joy if you've never had to. You've never known joy if you've never had to. My name is Manifest from Accra, Ghana.
Never. Feel Good Production.